I got a feeling that you got me covered too. I got you covered. I got you covered.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hi, Sandy, Wendy. How are you? I'm just going to post this in the lifeboat so people know that they can join in on the discussion. Um, I hope everybody's doing well. We're going to have a discussion today. I'm more rested. I'm just still really tired, but we're going to do it. It's going to happen, right? It's going to happen. You don't want to hear me sing, believe me. You don't want to hear me sing. My daughter does so much better than I do. So. Right. I just wanted to post it in the lifeboat for anybody that wanted to come on and join the discussion. Um, so the topic is planning for success, um, and making sure that we're planning for it in one way or another. I think that it's really important to make sure that when you're planning for success, and I will put what I just found in the description. But it was a really interesting article that I found that said, "Start achieving all your goals. How do you plan for success in every way?" And I think that we forget sometimes the importance of planning for success and making sure that when we're tired or we're busy or whatever it is, we're making sure that we've got our success mode in our head to say, we've got to plan for this. Today, of course, what did I do? It was like I forgot until probably about 2 o'clock this afternoon. Got to put my watch on so that I can just kind of have an idea if I'm taking enough steps. Now, with that being said, there is a little note on that to say there are times with fibromyalgia a lot and kind of what our family is going through right now that I may not get that many in because I'm hurting or I'm tired. I'm sitting there going, I am so tired. Well, you've been under how much stress the past couple days, and I don't see that stress ending anytime soon. There's a lot. So, you know what? It's just kind of like, how do you plan for it? How do you do it? If you don't plan for it, it's not going to happen. So, um, the article I found had a lot of really good little. It's from Brian Tracy, how to plan for it. And if you don't plan, you will be stumbling around, working on tasks that don't matter. Haven't we all done that? Gone like yesterday. I'm really glad I got the disco ball done, but I'm sitting there going, I know what I needed to work on, but I thought this will be quick and it didn't end up being quick. Or we'll fool around over here when we have another task that we're trying to complete over here, or we'll get busy doing something else and then we get sidetracked and we never go back to that. But success doesn't happen by magic, and I really, really like that statement. It doesn't happen by magic. It doesn't just poof, you do a magic wand, I wish it did, and it just happens. We'd all be so successful if it did. If you don't plan for success to happen, it's not going to happen. It's just gonna go, okay, I'm here. It's not gonna happen unless you plan for it. So plan that's one amazing thing. And for the month of August, I'm gonna do quotes for the rest of the month. Is going to be quotes that are leaning towards planning for success. So, Quote Monday is going to be quotes that inspire you to plan for success. In the month of September, it's probably just going to be random quotes I find that I like and then we like and then in October it's going to be fall quotes and Thanksgiving we're going to find some thankful quotes and December is going to be Christmas quotes of course and then in November New Year's resolution quotes that can be actually put to good use. We're going to talk about that when Christmas rolls around and New Year's resolutions. It's like, "Oh, we're going to do this." Well, I didn't wait till January 1st to start this train ride for you know, for for weight loss. I started it now. We don't need to wait till January 1st to say, "Oh, well, we'll just do that." I probably would have been about 10 pounds heavier if I'd waited, and that's not the goal. So I love that, it doesn't happen by magic. It takes hard work to plan for success. So a little advanced planning can make a huge difference. Successful people are planners. I'm very much detail oriented, but I can tend to be a procrastinator. And so, and with fibromyalgia, it tends to make it so that yes, I I can have my good days and I can have my bad days. And sometimes, there's a lot more bad days depending on the circumstances or situation. But, I tend to procrastinate, and I tend to say, "Okay, I'm gonna do this, and it's gonna get done," and then before I know it, the day is gone. I'm like, "Where did I spend my day?" Because I got distracted, and I put this down, and I didn't go to it. So success doesn't come by luck, we already figured that out. It does not come by magic, right? It comes by making sure that you are planning for whatever it is, and I think that if it is also says, whether you have business goals or personal goals, achieving the start is with a well written plan or purpose. Well, why don't we just, we've got journals, we can start doing that. We can start planning for what it is and planning for the success that it happens. In addition to providing clarity on how to make the process either by written planning, we have our phones in our hands. There are so many different apps that can keep you on task, and you need to put the ones that are so important on the very top, and then the other ones, move them to the mark tomorrow. Rate them. Getting that blanket done is really kind of like on the top of my list right now. Making the disco ball was fun, but it shouldn't have been on the top of my list, even though I'm glad I did it. So rating things so that they're to the degree of importance. Um, Simply put, if you have a plan, you have concrete next steps to follow. If you aren't just sitting around wondering how to be successful, instead, you're able to take actions because your path is already out in front of you. You've laid those steps. Remember, we've talked about this, and I've talked about it too on the lifeboat as well. The idea of this quote that was done, and I think I still have it somewhere. I just have to find it. Hold on a second. I don't think I see it in here for some reason. I don't have it anymore. I should, but I don't for some reason. I don't know why. Mm, Sometimes it's support list. I don't have it. I'll have to get it. Um, this one could be it. No, that's not it. That's not it. I thought it was. It's not. I'll have to get it back again. But remember the quote where we saw the entire staircase? We saw the entire staircase, and the entire staircase. We don't need to see the entire staircase. We just need to see one step and then take the next step. And sometimes we need to sit on that one step for a while before we can get to the next step. But we don't need to see the entire staircase before we get to the one staircase. And I'll have to get that one out there because it's a really good one. Um, if you've written a book or an article, you might be familiar with the concept. If you sit down and write the article with no idea what you're going to write about, chances are the article will not turn out. You have to have a topic or a goal to get there. Um, you need a blueprint to move forward. This is a blueprint for what it is. People that accomplish goals have a higher rate of those who have developed an effective action plan. To create an action plan, you need to first decide exactly what you want. Write your goals or your goals down on paper, your goal or goals. Set a deadline for yourself. Make a list of everything you can do to think of what you have to do to achieve your goal. Schedule everything into a comprehensive plan. So those are the action plan and steps that you need to do in order to make things go into action. And I think that that's important, an action plan, not just, "Whoo, we're just gonna fly by the seat of our pants." It doesn't work, y'all. It doesn't, believe me, it doesn't. Um, so 6 steps to plan for success. Um, you have the potential and you have the ability to accomplish so many things if there's an action plan, if there's habits in place, so that you can make sure that you're putting these things into step. Um, Identify time wasters. I loved that. That was one of the first set steps, 6 steps to plan for success. Identify time wasters. If the first thing you need to do to help to plan for success is to eliminate time wasters, whether it's notification dinging on your phone, the noise from the TV, your kids running around, construction happening across the street, identify time wasters that distract you. And let me just say that your kids running around should never be a distraction necessarily, but and you should enjoy them running around and play with them and do all those kind of things. But maybe if you need to get a goal or you have something in mind that you need to do, maybe and having them run around and stuff and not have a little bit of quiet time is distracting you from getting that done. Maybe you figure how long that task will do, especially if they're older, and say, "We're gonna have a half an hour of quiet time. Here's a book, read a book. I need a half an hour. I just need to focus on this task." Um, that is a great idea. We had a lady in our church who said she really felt the need for being able to have a daily devotion, and she had older kids at the time, and she said 4 o'clock came in the afternoon. She said, "Guess what? I had them in their rooms. They knew for that hour I needed them to be quiet, and they had to read a book. They had to be in their rooms. They had to be quiet so that I could go do my devotion or whatever needs to get done." So, depending on the age, you could do that, so that you can get activities done. Make a list of premier time wasters in the day of the week. Is sitting on your phone scrolling through shorts a time waster? It depends. I do tend to look at my short app on my YouTube feed. And the reason I do that and that we do that is that we go into shorts and make comments or find channels that we would like to subscribe to. And that actually has usually what that will do is people will check us out. So that's not necessarily a time waster. But if you're not doing that for the purposes of trying to get your word out on your channel, then maybe sitting there flicking the short thing and just going, "Oh, but where did that hour go?" may not be a good use of your time. It may entertain you, but it may not be a good use of your time. If you wanna maybe say, "Listen, I'm gonna limit myself to a half an hour of allowing myself to do that 15 minutes." Give yourself those basis of it. Maybe sitting there just kind of, flicking through the TV or Facebook or whatever it is. Maybe look at your life and say, what are those time wasters? Um, Putting your phone on airplane mode during certain times of the day, turning off the TV, getting a babysitter for your children if you need that. Maybe there's a neighborhood kid that would, you know, um, love a couple extra things, so, some extra cash, and you can have her come over and just say, "I need a half an hour." Working in a coffee shop or coworker space instead of your house if you work from the home. Um, Outsourcing low volume tasks such as cleanings or meetings, cleaning your house or mowing the lawn. Maybe there's the neighborhood kid that would like an extra $25 to mow the lawn. Using automation where applicable. Use the apps that are surrounding us. There are apps. There's tasks apps that list all the tasks. There's um it feels weird when my watch vibrates. I'm looking down. What is that? Um, you know, is there tasks on your phone? There's apps with tasks on your phone. There's calendars on your phone. Make it as streamlined as possible. Set your environment up for success. I really love that one, too. Uh, you may have already noticed how messy the space breeds distraction. If you're ever wasting precious time, look for one document you know you have somewhere. Put it in the same place. Um, I when I have my Weight Watchers app, there's it's easy to scan the food. Well, we I have those Jello things now, and so it's just easy to take my app out, scan it into the little scanner thing, and pull it up, and be able to just track this food and put the amount that I need and so forth, and then go from there. Well, I I when I first had it, I took the box, right? I took the box and I went ahead and I was sitting there going, "Wait a minute. I need to I need to be able to make this so that I have those handy for when I need to go back to them so that they're in my arsenal. I don't have to sit there and, you know, sit there and go, okay, do I do, do I have to look for them? Do I have to, um, scan them through the app? I can have them in my arsenal and I have a place in my pantry so that they're there. I don't have to sit there and you know try to find the thing in in my in my in the app itself. I can just go and go, okay, I need to go and look for this and have a place within my pantry so the minute I get this fixed, I can go right. So I cut it up so that I've got the actual barcode that I can make an easy scan for. So I've planned for success. I have not found in the Weight Watchers app, and if the Weight Watchers people are listening, I haven't found in the app that it has where you can like put you can put like your favorites that you could go back to that and look at your favorites. So I thought I've got to do this so that it's really simple. When I fix this, I can just go ahead and scan the barcode and pull out the flavor, right? And then I can record it in my phone. So I have made it so that it is successful. I've made it so that I can be successful in making this happen. I'm not just trying to kind of fly by the seat of my pants in essence. So that's one way that I have done that right now. Another thing that I've realized is I need when I go to the grocery when I go to the Sam's Club, you can get those little smart, what is it? The smart, some kind of popcorn that's very low skinny pop, and I actually like it. And I thought, you know what? I need to get little baggies of this, little bags. They have individual bags, and I need to get those so that put this in. Um, I can put this in the, I'm gonna get it I'm gonna get to I'm gonna think about it in a minute. I can put this in, have it as an additional snack because yesterday I had to put a cup and a half of yogurt, which is fine, and it was all free, and I love that. But I wanna make sure that, I've got it so that I've got it in a good place for myself. I have prepared, right, for, the the I prepared myself. I'm just trying to share this out a little bit. Um, Give me a minute, y'all. I prepared Hi, Rudy. I prepared so that I can be successful in the action I'm doing. So, that's one thing to think about. How to make sure that you are planning for success, and that's one thing I've done. I wish they did it a little bit more, um, to to do it more effectively, that if you had your favorites, you could just go, "I haven't found that little button yet on the thing." Um, but I've set myself up for success when it came to that. Um, if you know that you're going for if you putting your papers in the same place that you're looking for, if you're putting if you have papers that you go to a lot, or filing them where they're supposed to be so that you can be able to, um, you know, be able to find them easily without wasting a bunch of time. If we think about it, let's think about going into our kitchen. Do we take our knives, spoons, and forks and all that kind of stuff? And do we put them in the same place all the time, in different places all the time? When you go into your kitchen, usually your knives, forks, spoons, and all that kind of stuff are in the same place. Your family's not coming to you going, "Where did you move the spoons today? Where did you move the forks today? Where are the knives today?" They're in the same place. Your family knows that that drawer is the silverware drawer. Now, you may move it occasionally. You may move it when you first have a kitchen, but we've moved. The place we moved into has been since April of 22. Our silverware drawer is in the same place it's been since we moved. So, it's the same kind of concept about making sure that you have things in place and you try to put them back. I do the same thing with my crochet. It's in the same place. My hooks, I'm not having to go all over the place looking for that stuff. It's in the same place. And when I don't, I find it actually very frustrating. Also working on decluttering. Oh, that's a big one. I need to work on that in our bedroom a little bit, and I need to actually get containers that I have a shelf, that I need to rearrange and get some containers for. Um, the finances, of course, are not there, but it'll eventually happen. But still, trying to declutter areas and making sure that if it is a messy area, then your head is going to be a little bit messy. And I heard one person say, start at the corner of the room. If you're trying to declutter, just start a little bit. Set your little watch or set your timer on your phone for 10 minutes and just say, for 10 minutes, I'm going to start kind of decluttering a little bit. Just start making that priority. When you declutter spaces, it can help with less stress, less anxiety, even help your eating choices or your sleep. If you have things in your life right now, hi, Alfonso. If you have things in your life right now that you have in the pantry that you're tempted to go to, that is only gonna, um, you know, uh, not be good for you at this point, take them and throw them in the trash. I don't care what they cost. It's not worth it. It's better for it to go in the trash than go on your hips. Hi, Laura. So that's one thing to think about. What does your workspace look like? Does it look all cluttered? What does it look like? So, making sure that you decluttered is, another way. Purchase and use an easily accessible trash can. Dust your desk on a regular basis. Use drawer dividers to keep the small space organized. Implant a filing system for your papers and shredding documents you don't keep. Hide any cords or chargers on your devices. Use a whiteboard or a desk or a calendar to stay track of appointments or meetings. Use your phone. Find some way to keep track of that. Now, I loved this too. It was creating smart goals, right? And SMART goals will greatly increase your chances of being success. And I love the way that he broke down. And I should have put this on a PDF, but I didn't. I forgot to do it. But I will definitely be putting this on a PDF, so I can put it up on the screen. Smart goals S- actually spells out specific, specific, specific. So S stands for specific. I can't talk today. What do you want to do? You have to start making it so that you can put a name to it. So let's look at like my weight watch or my weight goals, right? Specific. So I know I'm not saying that right today. It just will not come the way it's supposed to be. What do you want to do? Well, mine was to lose weight. Measurable. How will you track your progress? So think of the word smart, right? So we're on M. So the next one is SMART goals. So M is for measurable. How am I going to track it? Using the Weight Watchers app. Write it down on paper. Use an app in your phone. Whatever you need to do. Achievable. How will you do this? Use the Weight Watchers and I'm going to connect. I'm going to build a support system around me so that I can be successful. When I'm leaning towards I want to go eat something I'm supposed to, that's why the Disco Ball Warriors group is there, so that I can be successful in my ability to make sure that I can do this. I'm going to surround myself, and instead of going, okay, I'm gonna want to go towards food or whatever I want to go to. I'm gonna go to my group and say, listen, I'm I'm um I'm gonna get to where I need to be. So I just did put in the disco ball Facebook group. So I'm gonna build a accessible support system. So that's achievable. Relevant. Is this relevant in your life right now? Absolutely. So we're at right? word R, right? Smart. We're going to be smart about achieving our goals. So R is for relative. Yeah, it's relative. I don't want the scale going to 300. I was done at 280.8. Done, done. If it goes over 285, I know where I'm going next. No, we're not getting there. So yes, it's relevant. Time bound. What do you want to do it in? So T is for time bound. What do you want to do it? Or when do you want to do it? When it comes to weight loss, this has to be I'm 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 not setting necessarily a time. I'm going to make this somewhat a little bit flexible. Would I like to be at least 10 pounds lighter or at least 20 pounds maybe by the end of this year? Yes. I think that's most likely doable. I've lost 4.4 pounds so far. But I'm also putting into the fact that I may need to back that up a little bit. It may need to be 15 pounds because of what's going on with my aunt right now. But I can't use that as an excuse to say, okay, because I'm dealing with this whole thing, I have the right to go and eat the ice cream, eat this and that. No, I don't. This is not how I'm going to approach this. I'm going to cry about it. I'm going to get on here and ugly cry. I'm going to go to the lifeboat. I'm going to go to Reese's channel. I'm going to go wherever I need to go to make sure that I've got the support around me. I've got friends that I can call. I've got people that I can reach out to and just let it go. And that will be so much healthier and so much beneficial for me. I remember Tommy saying that his goal in life is to leave this world without having any kind of pain medication whatsoever in his body, and he hopes to get there. For me, I can honestly say I've looked at the little mini goal that I can set for myself saying, I want to get through this situation without going to food for comfort. I wanna go to my connection portals for comfort. Now, does that mean that if we go out and enjoy things when my aunt's here, I may gain some of it back? That's fine right now. I'm not worried about it. My dad loves cinnamon rolls, and we have a place down in Walnut Creek that has the best cinnamon rolls you will ever have, one of them. And so am I gonna go down and get cinnamon rolls? Yeah, because I want my aunt to enjoy them. There's another place here that does apple cider donuts. Are we gonna go pick up some in the time that she's here? Probably. If we go out and I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm not necessarily going to be counting my calories to verbatim, but it does not give me the excuse to go way outside the boundaries either. Um, and by the way, you can only have a half of these cinnamon rolls. I mean, I'm not kidding you. I will show a picture. They're about this big. They're huge. It doesn't give me the right to go outside of my boundaries. It also doesn't give me the right to say, "Phew, I nobody wants to hear Mary fuss, talk about her aunt. They've already heard it enough. They don't need to hear it anymore." And that means, yeah, they've heard it, but they're going to hear it again, and they're not gonna mind it. They know that I'm going through it. Yes, and I will certainly play some of it for her, for sure. I'm I don't know if I'm probably gonna I don't know if you're still doing a live tonight, Alfonso, but I know I'm exhausted. I'm very, very sleepy, so I doubt that I'm gonna be able to even handle tonight. So I don't know if you're doing one, but I'm not gonna be on it tonight. And it may be a little sketchy the rest of the month. I mean, I can be in the chat to moderate, but I don't know if I have energy to be on. But I wanted to make sure that I hit this topic today. Um, so anyway, I love the way that broke down into SMART goals, right? SMART goals into those things. But I'm going to allow myself a little bit of fluctuation, but not to a degree that I should say, okay, you have the right to eat whatever you want. No, you don't. And you don't have that right to eat because you're hurting. That is no longer excuse. You cannot use that as an excuse. Now, I thought this was kind of interesting, and I've never heard it before either. Eat the frog. I kind of like that. Um, and it's a familiar concept, and I've never heard this before. Quotes, eat the frog. That may sound strange, but here's what it means. It was done by Mark Twain once said that the first thing you do each morning is to eat a live frog. Now, I'm not telling anybody to eat a frog. I'm not. You can do that throughout the day with satisfaction and knowing that probably the worst thing that's going to happen to you all day long. Yeah, it would absolutely. Hi, Moon. Um, absolutely would if I'm thinking about the first thing I had to get up and instead of having my cup of coffee, I'm going to eat a live frog. Yeah, that would be probably on the top of my list of about of horrible things that I would have to do. But to put it the illustration into perspective, think of a frog as the biggest, most important task of the day. If the one you are most likely to be procrastinating on if you don't do something about it. So eat that frog first. It's another way of saying do the biggest and hardest and most important task first. I love that. Okay. All right. Or I can be in the chat to moderate. I won't have I have enough energy. I have enough spoons to come on and do this. And outside of that, then I think I'm done for today. I'm gonna work on the blanket. I'm probably gonna take a nap at some point. My spoon. I'm recovering. I feel like I've been through just a lot of stuff, but I love that. Sometimes we take the biggest task that we have to do, right? And we put them into this whole thing, right? And we say, okay, we've got the biggest task, and I'll put that off to the side, right? I'm going to put that off to the side. I'm not going to do that because that's a huge task I don't want to do. But that's probably what we should be doing first, not last, because by the time we get to the last and we've saved the biggest task, the most frightening task, or the most hardest task of the day, by the time we get to that, guess what? We're done. Our spoons are gone. And we're thinking, I don't want to do this task now. I'll save it for tomorrow. So why don't we look at whatever task we have to go on, right? And we eat the frog first. I love that. I don't know how I can make a shirt, but I may end up making a shirt that says eat the frog first. Just to remind you all, right? It's a great, great thing to think of. Do the task that's the hardest first. Get it out of the way. If you have a task that needs to get done in your day and you have a list of tasks, mark them 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the first one you should do. And you may say, well, I don't really want to do that one. That's really I don't wanna go for that one right now. I don't wanna do that one." Well, yeah, you need to do it. You need to go for that task first. Eat that frog, and I love that. I thought that's a great way to think about it. People are gonna be coming, "Eat a frog?" But it's true. It's true. It's sitting there going, "You know what? It's true. It's so true to think about, um, to think about doing that first. Pick the task that's the hardest and say, "That's the first one I'm accomplishing." Because putting it off till tomorrow is not gonna make it any easier than it's going to be when it's gonna be hard the next day and probably even harder because you put it off, right? More off and then the next thing is, time management will help you unlock. So sometimes we need to do better at time management, right? Well, thank you, Moonrose. Give a thumbs up. Thank you so much for dropping by. We are 474 hours away from 3,000. So anybody that can help with any of our watch hours, please hit those playlists. I'd appreciate it. 474. We're getting there one little bit by one little bit. Developing lifelong habits to tackle a major problem, major task first thing each morning. Eat the frog before doing anything else. That is a common trait of successful people. They tackle what's hard first. They don't go to what's easy. They go to tackling what's hard first. Create a backup plan. That's what I'm doing right now in my life, okay? I'm having to say, "This is my plan," and one thing that I said on the boat last night is, I'm actually scared to go through this process that we're gonna go through with my aunt, honest to goodness, without using food for my comfort. I'm really sitting there going, this is a little nerve-wracking. This is a lot nerve-wracking. I really don't wanna do this, right? But I'm creating a backup plan to make sure that I have the connection, make sure that I have people that I can call, make sure that I've got things in the house. Like I was I've been craving mint chocolate chip ice cream and I forgot to bring the thing in, right? So I found the Jello mix, the peppermint right now on my phone. The Yorkie peppermint patty Jello mix, right? Well, I went ahead and got that, because I could make it doesn't taste like it, but I could put it in a Jello mix, right, and make it somewhat put some little mini chocolate chips in it, and now I've got something that is kind of, uh, familiar to what I need, and I was able to do it. It was like, "Man, I love this," and I got that sensation of mint chocolate chip ice cream. This is what it is, just so y'all know. This is what it is, okay? Under Weight Watchers, this whole thing, I think, don't quote me, is 4 points, right? 2 tablespoons of this is 4 points. If I put the mini chocolate chips in it, it's now 2 points. It's 6 points. Yesterday, I had a half a cup of yogurt, which brings it and 1 tablespoon, which brings it down to 2 points, and a tablespoon of chocolate chips in it, which brought it down to 1. I had this for 3 points. I don't even wanna know how much mint chocolate chip ice cream is point-wise. And it didn't taste exactly like um, the mint chocolate chip ice cream would have tasted, but it satisfied that, and I did it the night before when I went to bed. I used a cup, so I had something for 6 points. I had the points left over, but it satisfied that I want mint chocolate chip ice cream, and I want it now. How can I do it successfully? And that was successful, and that's a great, great trick, you all. It really is. I did not buy any of the Yoplait yogurts. I didn't buy any of the Chipone or not Chipone, I think the other Greek yogurt that has, like, the fruit in the bottom. I didn't buy any of that. I bought big the big tubs of fat-free yogurt, plain Greek fat-free yogurt, and I took my little scanner and I went to the store and I scanned each one and said, "Okay." Actually, like, the Dove, I was shocked. The Dove was less than points for 2 tablespoons, and the Sonic, I had one last night before I went to bed. It was a cup of that with 2 tablespoons of the birthday cake Jello, and it was literally like 4 points, it was like 2 or 3 points, and 2 tablespoons of chocolate chips, and I had enough points. It was 5 points. It was delicious. I'm like, "This is enough. This is fine. I'm good." And if I don't wanna put the chocolate chips, I don't have to. I had, cottage cheese yesterday, and I put cottage cheese and I put a spoonful, because I can't do plain cottage cheese. I did a spoonful of the Jello mix. It ended up being like 3 points. And I was full for quite a while after this. It was protein. I felt like I was having a little bit of something sweet. If you're somebody that can do the sugar-free gelatins, then you can make it 0 points. I can't do them because any of that artificial sweetener stuff just it'll put me into a headache for months. Not months, not months. It'll put me in headaches for days. Migraines are horrible, so I can't do any of that. It all has to be regular. I can't do the sugar-free stuff. But if you can put the sugar-free stuff in the yogurt, then you're very low calorie. If you can use sugar-free Cool Whip and all that, then that makes it wonderful. Because I don't think those are any points. That's a very low way of doing something if you're craving something sweet. I have found it remarkably successful. And I was up, and I've been trying another thing too, which is not eating after 12 o'clock. I try to get all my stuff in because I have to have a little snack before I have my medicine at night. So it was like 11 o'clock or 11:30, and like, okay, I'm done for today. I'm done. Now I was up till 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was hungry. I said, "No, I don't need to eat anything. I've eaten enough." And I went to bed and I was fine. So making sure that you have created a backup plan, and that's the sense of, okay, I want the mint chocolate chip ice cream because it sounds good and it tastes good, but I can't do that. This is my backup plan for when I'm craving that. I have found that that it's taking a little bit of time for my brain to go, I know this isn't mint chocolate chip ice cream, but it would work, and I could even take the yogurt and the package of the York peppermint patty thing and put it in a food processor, right? Put it in the refrigerator, and now I have a cold treat. Is it gonna taste like mint chocolate chip ice cream? No, but it is my backup plan, and it will satisfy it, and it's enough. So more often than like that, we like things to go the way we originally planned, don't we? This isn't going the way I wanna go. This is, I don't wanna do it this way. This is not my plan, and here's where sometimes too, if you are walking with Christ, we need to say, "But Lord, I have this plan, but he has this plan for us." And sometimes we need to be still and realize that God has the best laid out plans possible, and if we will just be still and listen to him, he knows our steps before we even step them. So sometimes we need to make sure that we're listening to his plan. And this is why it's important to have a backup plan. In other words, the steps you take to achieve success, if it's not your initial plan, does not work. We can't always plan for everything. It would be awfully nice if we can. But if you don't have tools in place so that you can plan to deal with things, like I've been asking people, what are the tools? And I got some tools last night. And another tool that I've put in, and I had just a little chat late last night, was one that I said to, I said to my community, if you don't see me in the lifeboat for the next couple of days after my aunt leaves, somebody's, I'll need somebody to reach out a little bit. And I said, I not that I need it, but I guarantee you that would be nice because when people miss you within the chat on a channel that means a heck of a lot to you, it certainly means something, doesn't it? But I had more people say, "You don't have to worry about that. If you're not in the lifeboat after your aunt leaves and even before, When we start not seeing you floating in that chat, we're coming to see how you're doing. We're not going to allow you to just suffer in silence. You're not allowed to do that anymore. So making sure that, and I even said it in there, I know if I'm not sitting in those chats, people are going to be fine. They're going to be messaging me, "Are you okay? Do you need a phone call? Are you okay? How are you doing? What's going on? What can we do for you? What do you need?" I mean, my phone's going to blow up. My messenger's going to blow up because I've made sure that I know myself enough. As somebody that deals with chronic pain on a daily basis, I know that I am going to be in the habit of self isolating myself, which does more harm than good. It does no good. And so I need to make sure that I'm taking the steps to say, listen, I'm going through a really, really hard time. You know, I'm going through it. This is really hard. Um, I sure want to see my aunt for sure, but it's going to be hard to let her go. And I loved it when she said to my mom last night, she goes, "I'm coming up there to drive you crazy." And I even said that in Cricket's live, which you haven't checked out, Chow Yun Smut's live. Go ahead and check it out. Um, but I even said to her, "Thank you for making it possible for my aunt to drive us crazy." And I thought, I just started laughing with that. And I'm like, yep, that's my aunt. But I'm like, I know that this is really hard right now. So what do I need to do so that I'm making sure that I'm backing up? My backup plan is to make sure that I've got things in place, tools in place, things that taste similar to mint chocolate chip ice cream. So if I'm craving it, I can go to something healthy. I know that I want to go ahead and um, Uh, I want to go ahead and bring some things that I can snack on. I want to make sure that I'm doing things that I'm preparing to be successful. Um, consider setting a plan B if plan A doesn't work. For example, perhaps you want to write a book, produce a document, or you're focusing on a document right now. If your document doesn't work out, could you switch gears and writing a book instead? A backup plan does not need to be tremendously in depth. In fact, it's probably better if it isn't, right? It's probably better if it isn't. Um, but have a general idea of how to have a backup plan, for things. What am I going to do if I, you know, I'm having trouble to go to sleep one night? What am I gonna do when we get the phone call? I've already started thinking about this, y'all. What is my backup plan is to do this. My backup plan is that when we do get the phone call that my aunt is no longer here, I'm gonna be on this live telling y'all. It's gonna be there and I'm gonna ugly cry. And it may not be right stinking away when we get the phone call, but it will be within a couple of hours of that. Do I really want to do that? No. But I also know that whenever this whole thing does happen and come to that conclusion, that ending, I know that I need to have things in my backup if for some reason I cannot go live for a couple of days or a week. What do I have? I need to make sure that I've got recordings set up. I'm working on those to make sure that there's Topic Thursday and Devotion Thursday. There's things in the hopper that we have ready to roll out if for a week I can't do a live because I can't get on a live and cry. I can't muster it out. How do I make sure that there's things in plan, being able to for us to be able to upload shorts and jokes and quotes and all that and shout outs all the way till the end of the year. That's one thing I'm working on the blanket today, and that's one thing I'm gonna work on tomorrow heavily. Um, so I don't have a quote for Monday, so I'm gonna be working on that stuff tomorrow. I wanna make sure that as much planning as it is, I can do so that if for a week I need to take a hiatus where I can't come on here and am either exhausted, I know that my fibromyalgia will be raised. What can I do to make sure that I'm planning to be successful? Because we're only 500 and hi, Kristen. Awesome. We're only 574 hour no, 474 hours away from 3,000. So, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Stay open-minded. I love this. Sometimes life is unpredictable. Boy, oh boy, have I learned that in the past little bit. We can't always plan for the unpredictable. I don't know. I know how I'm gonna feel, but I don't know how I'm gonna feel to some degree. I kind of have an idea of what it's gonna be like to drop her off at the airport. I kinda have an idea what it's like when we get the phone call, but I don't know how it's gonna all pan out. I don't know what I'm gonna feel. I don't know if I'm gonna want to go back to old habits. I don't know, but I need to stay open-minded. I need to be flexible. For me, that's a little bit hard. For my daughter who struggles with autism, that's even harder. She wants everything planned out. I wanted everything planned out. When we were coming up from Florida to Ohio, we had planned to stop off in Tennessee. We did stop off in Tennessee. No, Kentucky, excuse me, because we wanted to go see the Ark, which I hope to get to see one day, and, go around there. Well, my husband ended up having, had a gastroparesis flare up, and, that whole thing was scrapped because we winded up in the hospital. We actually had to stay an extra day where we get on the road and go up to, Cincinnati when we moved up to Ohio in 22 or no, 19, 2019. So all of those plans that we had planned to go to went right out the window because he was sitting in the hospital. And we spent the day doing the next day nothing but resting. So things have to be, you have to be flexible. You have to be able to say, okay, maybe you have 10 things on your to-do list on your schedule. Take that, and Kristen may say, "What the heck is this?" She'll have to go back, Kristen. Eat eating the frog. What is, eating a live frog? I can't even imagine how horrible that would be to look at, it'd be horrible. And say, "I'm gonna eat the frog." What is the top thing on my list, right? That is the hardest thing I have to do today. And then keep going down. You may start writing all the things down you need to do and then reorganizing and say, out of all these things, what's the first thing I need to get done today? What's the first thing that I need to do to feel accomplished because I've eaten that frog. I've gotten that hardest thing out of the door and out of the way. I'm done. I've done it, right? I've eaten it. Okay, now I've accomplished that. So I feel like I've accomplished something today. The other stuff will fall into place. So maybe 1 through 5 is stuff you have to do today, right? Maybe 5 through 10 is stuff that you would like to do today. So by able to separate it so that those 5 things for any reasons don't happen, right? They can be put on, I hope to accomplish them tomorrow. And maybe one of those things you could put on your list for tomorrow saying, I'm gonna accomplish them today. I didn't get to them tomorrow, so maybe pick one out of the I'd like to accomplish them and make that to accomplish them. Yesterday, I needed to call a doctor to see if I could rearrange an appointment, if possible, because the appointment lands when Patty's here. Did I remember to do that? Nope. Now I gotta wait till Monday. But if I had written it down some way, somehow, and done a little task and said, you have to do this today, and I got sleepy and distracted, and it never happened. So, some aspects of your life may be easier to plan or control than others. For instance, you may be able to count on your children's school schedule, but you won't count when your boss needs you at a meeting or if they get sick. If you have something planned for the day and your children wake up with 101 fever or 100 fever, whatever, and they're sick, wherever your plans are for the day are out the window. Because guess what? You know, um, I remember when Christina got diabetes, right? We winded up in the urgent care for a problem, and she had almost a 500 sugar, or not 500, it was 350. By the time we got to the hospital, it was 400, right? Guess what? Whatever plans I had, my work plans for the week and all that kind of stuff, that went right out the tubes because it wa- it it went right out. It was gone. I didn't have it. I couldn't do it. I spent 4 days in the hospital, so whatever I planned, guess what? Phew. So sometimes we need to plan and manage those and keep flexible and keep, and strike a balance between control and flexible. How to put plan for success. Success takes hard work. Remember, it doesn't happen like that. We'd like to snap our fingers or like she did. I can't even do it without doing it this way. The bewitched, and she would go like this and things would just fly out. We can't always do it that way. It does not come by magic. Success happens by us making an effort to make that happen. The best plan to success is eliminate time waster, set up your environment for success, create smart goals. And I will come up with a little PDF to be able to put up that. And if you notice, my chair is the hydraulics are down, and my chair just goes to the shrink mode. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'll fix it because I'm shrinking, y'all. Get it done. Okay. Don't go that way. Fix my chair for a minute so that I don't look like I'm in a hole. I'm in a hole. I'm in a hole. I'm in a hole. That's a little bit better. I don't feel like they'll last for a little bit. Like if I put my water in here, right? I'm more successful to make sure that this finishes by the end of the day than I am if I have water cups around or I have things lying around. So set things up for success. Smart goals. Eat the frog the first thing, right? Eat the frog. Have a backup plan. Be open minded. You will achieve your goals so much more successful. Um, so I thought it was a really, really interesting and formative article that I found, and I will place it in the description below. Now, one thing that I am doing, and I did put it in, she does have classes, and then of course with those kind of things, they always offer something after that. Um, and that's there for you. I don't get anything from that, but I wanted to tell my community about it. Okay. So she does a lot of recipes that you can just put the raw meat and everything from the shopping thing with all the ingredients in the Ziploc bags, throw them in the refrigerator, take them out the night before, and throw them in the crock pot or the Instant Pot. So I just downloaded one of them so that you could see one of them that I'm going to make, right? And it's a yogurt marinated chicken. And she's from the family freezer. Um, or the freezer family. I think it's I can't remember, but it's in the description of this video. Um, probably says on here somewhere. And I've just it's the family freezer. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, and she breaks this down too in Weight Watchers points for people that are on Weight Watchers. It's three skinless chicken thighs, 6 ounces of yogurt, and you put seasonings like oregano or salt or paprika, and then it gives you the instructions, right, for the recipe here. And then when you freeze the item, one thing that I did like about it is on here. Should be on here. Oh, okay. Okay. When you do put the item, that's fine. When you do put the item in, right? She gives you this. Okay? This in itself can is it this one? Instructions. Or is it this one? I can't I have to look. Hold on a second. Cut label here. Instructions. Or instructions. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Um anyway, you take this label, right? Either one, any one of them on there. And you take this and you put the instructions, right? To cook from the oven, to cook to the grill, whatever it is, put on the crock pot, whatever it is, freeze and cook later. That's what I want, which is not on this. Okay. Anyway, instructions, right? You take the instructions off of this. You see where it says instructions? Okay. And you take this little section here, like I would cut this out from this little part here where it says instructions from here to here, right? And I'm gonna cut that out, and I'm going to I always double, bag my bags, right? I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna put it inside the bag. So when I pull this out of the freezer, or I can tape it on, and I have to get tape that sticks to the freezer. Um, I'm gonna take this and put it right on the bag. So when I pull it out of the freezer, I say, "Okay, uh, label the freezer bag with the name of the recipe and the cooking instructions, the use by date. Add all ingredients to the freezer bag and cover. To cook, defrost and shake the bag up evenly, oils and stuff. Preheat the oven. Line 2 sheets of parchment paper. Spread the chicken in a single layer and bake for 15 minutes or fully cooked. Or it can cook on the grill, or it can cook in the Instant Pot. But when I take this out of the freezer, I have now all of the spices, all of the ingredients, everything in one bag. And all I need to do is take it and pull it out of the freezer the night before, lay it on a cookie sheet, and throw it in. Heat up a vegetable, and I'm good to go. And it says here, I think it says on here somewhere. Hold on. I'm still learning it. I'm still learning it. Because she does, and it says it on here. So it says cut label here. So I could put it there too. I was looking. This is not a, but she puts the instructions so you can label the bag and you're not having to do it. And it does it say? Because it should say how many Weight Watchers points it is. Give me a minute. Doesn't say on this. Maybe it says on the actual website because it doesn't say. It doesn't say on here, but it does tell me how many Weight Watchers points it is, but it doesn't put it on here, but it does on the screen, and maybe it does on the other. So I would put the amount of Weight Watchers points it would take, right? How many Weight Watcher points it would take for me to have this recipe. I think I did a class. It was like one of those webinar classes kind of things. And of course, she offers you your specialty. I think for her website, I got in for like $75, and that was from a friend of mine that was gifted to me, and I was grateful. Um, and so, um, but then it gives me tons of recipes, and I'm able to make a recipe collection, right? Then I took all the recipes that I'm gonna look into making this month, and I haven't totally planned it out, y'all, but I'm just showing this as a way of planning for success. Because what is happening, and I'm realizing this, I get to dinner time and dealing with a chronic illness. I'm going, and my mother has said recently, Mary, we got to do a better job of this. We have to. It's like, forget it. I'll just get something out. Well, I also need to do freezer. I need to do healthy frozen meals. I need to buy some of those, put those in the refrigerator freezer. So if I'm really tired and I just don't have anything, I can pull those out and eat them and know that I'm eating something that is within my point range. But um, the thing about it is, for me, I get done and I'm like, she said, "Can we start doing some freezer meals like this? And this way, you know, we can be more prepared. And if you're tired, you could just take something out and we could pull it out of the freezer and I could put it in the refrigerator and I can dump it in the crock pot in the morning, or we could put it in the freezer and then put it in the oven, and then we're a little bit more prepared because we already go to Sam's Club and get the chicken, right? Already the chicken in the bulk. Before you know it, before you know it, we're already freezing them. So why don't we freeze them so that they're frozen with all the ingredients on it? So then this website that I found, right? It produces a shopping list. This There's stuff out there, guys, that this can be simple, stupid to plan for success, right? We just don't utilize them. There's a shopping list. I can go through and X out. You'll see some of those things flying through them. I already have the ingredients at home. So before I go to the store, now I have a shopping list, right, of everything that I need that I'm going to make all these recipes with. and I'm able to X out exactly what I have. I know I need 2 pounds of boneless, skinless breast. I know I need, it, it tells me exactly, it may even tell me in the meat section here. Um, does it? I think I clicked a tab. I need to redo it again, but it's fine. I know I need 85 pounds of lean ground beef. Well, we don't use ground beef, so I would use ground turkey. Um, I know I need a certain amount of poundage of boneless chicken breast. I need chicken thighs. I need sweet Italian sausage. I need apricot jam. I need chicken broth. I need Dijon mustard. I need panko. I need maple syrup for one of the recipes that I'm looking into making. Okay, and it's all done in a list that I can go to the store and say to make these freezer meals. Right, I have it all listed down. I know exactly what I need to make all this happen. And the line marks through are the stuff I already have at home. I don't need to buy, right? That's the shopping list. And I still need to kind of tweak that a little bit. Here's the recipes, right? Here's the recipes that I'm looking into making. Hi, DJ. All the recipes I'm looking into just throwing into freezer bags, right? Um, What I'm going to do is go through, and I was hoping to get it done today, and I didn't get it done yet. I'm going to go through before I go to do my shopping with my husband and my mom because I need help when I go to the store. Um, Before I go to Sam's Club, I'm going to take this list and I'm going to look at all the recipes, right? And I'm going to take them from here and I'm going to place them on a calendar. I thought, well, I can just do this, go to the list, and then just no, that's not planning enough. I need to then go through all of these recipes I have chosen, make some modifications like the ones that say beef. I need to change to ground turkey because Josh can't have the ground turkey, right? I need to uh, maybe I need to change some of the pork to turkey instead, or the chicken to like a turkey cutlet or something like that. But then I need to take these recipes, right, so that I'm not over shopping, and stick them on a calendar for August and literally put down we're going to have chicken with peach stuffing on, we don't go to the store till Tuesday. We're going to have that on the 7th, right? And then on the and maybe there'll be enough left over for the next day. It says it does 6 servings, so that would give us 2 days worth if we followed it. And then I'm going to be able to put the Weight Watchers points in it. Well, you know what? On the 9th, we're going to have orange marinated chicken. So on the 9th, what am I going to do? I'm going to put orange marinated chicken. This calendar is going on our refrigerator. And then that way, I'm going to take my mom can look at this, go into our freezer. We have a deep freeze in the garage. She could pull out number 2, which is the orange. What did I say? The orange marinated chicken, right? Take it out the freezer night before I can, stick it in the refrigerator and stick it in the oven, or stick it in the refrigerator, and then if it calls for it to go in the crock pot, she can throw it in the crock pot in the morning if I'm not up. That's 6 servings. So that should technically last us 2 days. So I don't have to think about anything then until Sunday. If I don't take this and move it to this, it's not going to be totally successful because then I'm going to be offering um I'm going to be offering or over shopping for the month. Now, my aunt comes the 15th, right? The 15th here through this week. She comes the 15th through the 22nd. So I'm probably not going to do a lot of these. When she leaves, I'm going to make sure there is something for now when we go and drop her to the airport on the drop her at the airport on Thursday. Is it Thursday? Thursday. We'll probably stop off at because they don't have Raising Cane's. They're getting one up here next year. We'll probably stop off at Raising Cane's and get dinner because none of us will feel like eating. But then on the 23rd, I better have some meals put up. I better have on the 23rd, I'll send you the recipe, Sandy. It's a great website. There are so many ideas. There's camping ones, there's crockpot ones, there's Asian ones. She has a lot of really good recipes and ideas into making things easier. She said that she was just tired of not being prepared. There is bacon, balsamic chicken, and vegetables. That's a crockpot meal. So maybe we'll have that on the 23rd. And that has 6 servings. So I know I don't need to do anything until the 25th. Then on the 25th, maybe we'll have maple roasted, uh, maple pot pork roast with cinnamon applesauce. And then maybe, and that has 6 servings. And then there's some on here that have, um, there's one that says sausage and sweet potato hash. Well, that only has 4 servings. So we'll probably do that on the 27th. But then on the 28th, I need to have something prepared so that that date on the 28th, I've got something else in my arsenal. So my mom was like, "Can we please do something so we're better planned and prepared out?" And I found this lady and I thought, "Yep, this is it." Yes. And she has a lot. I haven't seen her. I've got to check and see if she's on the YouTubes. But I'm going to make sure that it's not enough just to print these recipes out and print the shopping list out. Now, in order to get this, you have to be a member of her little website or her website in order to get in. And she does classes. And if there is any classes that she has coming up that I can see for to register with, I will certainly let you all know. And then of course she offers anything. But the first one I went with, I went in to kind of get her little spiel, I guess you could say, plus the recipes, and she sent me 12 free recipes. But it got me thinking enough to think, yeah, I need to do better at this. Hi, Lydia. I could print this and I can print the shopping list, which is a benefit to her members through her website. It was just a one time, like $75 thing. It's more, but I got a special code because I attended the class. I the coupon code, but I put it in there. I don't get anything from it. It's just a tool for y'all if you want to use. This shopping list does nothing for me. And this does nothing for me if I don't take the extra step to put it on a calendar to make sure that I know exactly what we're doing. What are the meals? If I, I need to have it planned out. And I need that's okay, Lydia. I need to have it planned out so that I can make sure, right, that I am being successful in planning this. We're eating better, we're eating healthier, we're eating a more balanced meal. If I'm not up to cooking, I can say to my mom, and she said, of course, she would help me, get the meals, into the bags and into the freezer and stuff. But then she can say, oh, we're planning to have the Cool Ranch shredded chicken tacos. Mary has that on the schedule for the 10th. Oh, that's number 5. Well, I can go to the thing and pull out bag number 5, right? And put it in the refrigerator the next night. Now she says I've always been in the habit when you're doing crock pot meals too of taking everything if it's anything, not chicken, but meats and stuff like that, turkey and ground turkey and ground chicken, ground beef and ground chicken, and cooking it prior to putting it in the crock pot. But she said it makes sense. Why? It's cooking in there. Why do you need to do that? I'm like, oh, that's kind of true. And she says you can take it right from the freezer and throw it in the crock pot. The only thing I would say to that is if you're going to do that, because if you have something that's frozen, you could run it under some water and break it up a little bit. But at the same time, that would take a lot of water, and you don't want the raw meat sitting in there for like 2, 3 hours before it gets up to temp. So I would say if you know you're going to throw it in the crock pot, go ahead and Make sure that you are taking it from the refrigerator the night before, putting it in the freezer, or taking it from the freezer, putting it in the refrigerator the night before to unthaw. Now, if you're taking it from the freezer and putting it in your Instant Pot, that's a whole different mother, because you can take frozen things from your freezer and put it in your Instapot because it heats up very quickly. That's about the only thing that I would say. I kind of would be on the side of err on just safety. Just as a precaution. That's the only thing. But I know that this will help me and it will help my mom to say, "Okay, mom, I've taken out dinner for tonight," just when you get up, and even going the further step and making sure that the crock pot that we keep out in the garage is brought into the house and all ready to ready to go on, right? It's ready, it's all hooked up and it's ready to go. That is setting it up for success, and we can do this. Connection is the other really, really important part of it. It is so important, y'all. I can't tell you how I am thinking. I don't know how I would go through this thing that I'm going through with my aunt. Craving all the foods that I shouldn't have, trying to just say I'm tired. I don't want to deal with this. I just want to say I just want to numb myself, right? Without the source of having connection happen. You know, I can honestly say, and I'm so grateful for everybody coming in. But at one point when I was doing this chat, I know people will be on the replay, right? I know they're going to watch this on the replay, and the replay crew means so much. But w- when I came in, it was like I'm the only one here, and there's just 7 people here, and I'm grateful for each 7 of them. But we're going to be successful, and it's going to happen. And the chat will grow, and so me just saying, "Well, forget it, nobody's interested in this topic," I hope that people will come by and really listen to this and watch on the replay and realize how important planning for success can be. Yeah, the magnificent 7, and I'm grateful beyond belief. Um, you know, I'm grateful. I know they're gonna come in and watch it on the replay, and you guys on the replay crew mean so much to us. Um, and I know that I've kind of not been as steady as I needed to, and there's just been a lot going on. So I appreciate people that have been patient and understanding, and been patient and understanding of everything that's going on, and just been there. Um, and maybe realized Mary's not as bubbly as she usually is. And there's a very good reason for that. You know, I rem- I was in research chat last night and I thought, people saw that she had a couple days where she didn't go live. I get it. When you all have, and I can somewhat understand because she's going through losing somebody in her life family wise. I can understand it. You don't want to come on here and cry and sit here and uh, you know, uh, show everybody, your emotions. You don't want to do that. Who wants to see that? But it's a really, really important thing. It's why I offered to come on to Kim's channel on Tuesday because I've kind of done the hashtag one last hug because I thought this is a really important topic to make sure that you are um, having the tools laid in front of you so you're not trying to do this by yourself. You're not trying to go through this thing by yourself because if you do, you're going to backslide. I know if I try to say I can do this by myself, I don't need any help. Where am I going? I know exactly where I'm going. It's not going to make you successful. Doing this little thing that I found this lady and I found her website. And I was grateful from the friend gifting me the membership, the finances to get in and do the membership because that person wanted me to be successful. And I'm like, this is going to be helpful. And I can still, but even though it's not a total solution, but it's got me to think more. Like, she had and I'm gonna get them for Christina's Christmas too, but they had those bag stands that you put, like, the you put the, Ziploc bags to hold as you're putting stuff in, and all she did, and I thought it was genius, all she did was take 2 pounds of chicken, put in each bag, right? Then take a 1/4 cup of olive oil, put it in each bag, and then she said, she had all I wondered what she was doing. I thought, "You're not gonna put all those seasonings in one bag." But she literally laid out all these seasonings and said, "Okay." Now she did not put in, like, if she was gonna make, like, a lemon pepper chicken, she said she didn't put in the lemon juice because she said that can make the meat tough if you put the acid from the lemon juice, but she took the zest of the skin, right? And she put it in one, she put pepper in, and she added salt or something like that. She said she put no more than 3 seasonings in each bag, whatever it was. The next one was like, I don't know, paprika and oregano, and I'm just making them up right now. Pepper, okay, in the next one. And then the next one. She laid out all her seasonings and she picked up 3, and she only put 3 teaspoons of seasoning in each bag. And by the time she's done, she had 12 different bags with 1/4 cup of olive oil in them, and every single bag had different spices in them. And now she has 12 freezer meals she can pop open, she could put on a baking sheet, she could even take it and put it on a baking sheet and then put even like fresh green beans around it, or even roast some potatoes on the side of it and make it a one pan sheet meal, right? I thought, "Genius. I'd have never thought of that." And then she just takes it out of the freezer, puts it in her refrigerator, or it would be great to put on the grill. Take it out of the refrigerator, stick the chicken breast on the grill the next day. You have all the seasonings. It's all done. It's all prepared. Now, I she had one like using chili powder, which I wouldn't use. So maybe I would have several bags and like a lemon pepper chicken kind of thing. Genius. Absolutely. I thought, you know, I buy enough chicken in the bulks. This makes absolutely perfect sense. So, doing things like that and making sure that uh, we're successful in this whole journey, you know, um, I I thought about it yesterday. I'm like, I like to sneaky snack. Don't we all, right? So what am I going to do when I go to the grocery store? I'm going to get the Skinny Pop in the individual bags. So if I'm really wanting something to snack on, I can I can have that. And maybe it would be just 1 point, but it would satisfy that wanting to snack. I'm going to look to see how hummus is. What did I do when I went to the store? I took, of course, you take your phone everywhere. My phone was on, Weight Watchers app was on. I scanned everything and thought, do I want to waste 7 points? No, it's not worth it. And I put it back. It changed how I did it because I went with success on the head. I thought, "No, if I buy the yogurts, I'm gonna be mad at myself because those are like 4 or 5 points I don't want." So we have to plan for success. It's and yet life can get discouraging. It gets discouraging when you go live and there's just one person and you're kind of talking to yourself, but it's okay. Because I know people are gonna filter in, and, there'll be a time when I'll look back going, "Man, I miss those times when it's just, everybody kinda got to talk and the chat was slow." So, I it's okay, it's fine, and I know the replay crew is gonna be there, and if this reaches anybody that they can say, "You know what? This whole time that I've sat and talked and I've kinda given you a little bit about planning for success, and it helps them. Awesome. It was worth it all. Absolutely. We also need to help each other be accountable and help each other to be able to be successful. We cannot do this independently. We cannot do it by ourselves. We can't do it alone. Nobody should. If you haven't, I'll do the responsible YouTuber things. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Please check your subscription. Make sure you have it set for all notifications. We know the YouTubes don't set out those pesky little notifications, do they? Either give a thumbs up, hopefully you will, or a thumbs down. I won't tell you which way to do it. And when you get done, go ahead and make a comment on the post about plans that you can do to be successful. Hi, Duke, are things that you found within this video that were actually really, really helpful. Maybe you need to put on your bathroom window in the morning. Eat the frog first. I thought that was so cool. Eat the live. I'm not talking about a live one. Eat the live frog first. That's making you look at the tasks that you have in front of you, finding the hardest one and getting it off the thing. We used to be told that in school when we tested, right? Find the hardest, most difficult question on the test and accomplish that first. Because then you're going to be more likely to accomplish things throughout the day. And if you don't accomplish everything within the day, it's okay. It's fine. It's not the worst thing. Don't sit there and beat yourself up for it. If all you can do is do just what you can. Like for me today, coming and doing this live was an accomplishment. If people d and I was really surprised that several people said, "You look tired yesterday." They may even sit there and say, "You know what? I look tired." Um, can one of the mods put Duke City Fishing's, um, um, I'm gonna think about it, link in the chat for me, please? Um, but if we think about it, this was an accomplishment. I may look a little tired. I may not be as bubbly as I wanted to as I was talking about it or a ray of sunshine. And that's okay because people know me. Mary's going through some stuff right now. We're going through, you know, um, and that she's had a rough week. Just kind of dealing with that, trying to get her aunt here and dealing with the terminal diagnosis and all that kind of stuff. All of those things, people that know me know, hey, if she's tired, there's a reason why. But if she doesn't come in the lifeboat chat in a couple of days, or she's not, we know, thank you, Kristen. We know, guess what? We got to check her, make sure she's doing okay. Because she's going through it right now. Her family's going through it right now. And we have to help her through it. She's not doing this by herself. Nobody is. Nobody's going to suffer in silence. Nobody is. And I've already prepared my community for there's going to be some streams. There may be some ugly crying involved, and that's okay. And they've all said, go for it. If it shows the world through this whole thing, and that's one thing I've thought of, success is always and bring don't try to compare your success for somebody else's. My success is totally different than your success. If you sit there trying to rank it to somebody else and trying to be where somebody else is, you're going to fail miserably. You're going to fail. Don't try to rank yourself where somebody else is. I hate this the saying live up to the Joneses. There's a reason why. But, don't try to sit there and say, well, she's successful and I need to be just like that person. Do your own success. We've heard that quote throughout the time, right? Don't bother taking someone else your spot. Don't try to be someone else. They're already taken. Just be you, right? Just be you. Nobody else. Nobody else has to be that. Don't try to compare your success to somebody else. Be your own success. Find out what your vision, what you look like to be successful. For me, it's to get to that 3,000 mark for us. For me, it's to get to the 4,000 mark. That's my success. For me, it's also to make sure that I can honestly say that within the chat, people can come to my channel and say, that girl there, make sure that channels like Duke City Fishing and other channels that are small or big, doesn't matter what it is, are getting recognized so that people can go find some awesome content. she makes sure that she's lifting other people up as she's lifting up herself. I want people to say that within the chat about me. It's not all about her. It's not all about getting the blessed. If you go into the lifeboat and I do ripple effects and I put people's links in, you will see me. Hi, Brazy Girl. You will see me 110% always putting other people's links in before I will drop mine. I never go in there. If I do ripple effect and I have people's channels going, I never ever put mine first. It is always other channels first, and then I'm always maybe the last one that puts something. Or one of the other mods will see me start to do it and they'll put it in. But I make sure that I don't just go in there and plug myself in. I'm always putting in other channels like Miss Dragon and Ben Bacon Bits and Kristen Melinda and my other keeper. They're always going in the ripple effect channels for people to go over and subscribe before I'm dropping mine. And I hope that there's mods in there. They'll see me do it and they'll drop mine so I won't have to drop mine. But sometimes it doesn't happen. But I was put in a mod for that channel to be able to do that. Make sure that the ripples or links were put in so that it was taking it off of everybody's lap and so forth. That's one of the things that I feel strongly passionate about because I want to lift them up. And so, and I know Spanx is grateful when I do it. And I'm there too to just make sure that everybody stays safe and that there's no comments that are rude or disrespectful. We're reading the chat like, crazy. And that's nothing compared to the way Reese's chat flies. I'm still absorbing that. Um, so don't try to measure your success by someone else's. It'll be a fail move. I'm the only one I can measure my own success with is myself. That's it. And if I know that for some, if I look, perfect example, if I look at Aaron through growing up in Scientology and look at his success and say, he does 4 or 5 streams a day. Not this girl. I do not have enough spoons. And if anybody's wondering what the spoon theory is, I'll put it up. I do not have enough spoons dealing with a chronic illness as I do fibromyalgia, to be able to have enough spoons, right? And I appreciate that, uh, entertaining, DJ. I appreciate that. I don't have enough spoons, right, to be able to uh, do what Aaron does. And if I try to sit there and say, well, um, he does like 4 different lives within the day, right? He does 4 or 5 lives in the day. I should just do that, right? Y'all, you'd find me here in one live like this, sleeping because I was tired. I'm tired right now. I don't have enough spoons to do that. It takes me probably about 3 or 4 spoons to come on here and do something like this, and I don't have it within my arsenal. My spoon numbers are used a lot right now. It's taking me a little bit more energy and a little bit more spoons, right, to be able to get through the day right now. So, maybe to go fix myself something to eat may take 3 spoons versus 2 right now. Doing the littlest things are going to take more spoons than what I'm used to having. And so if I try to sit there going, okay, well, Ron does 3 or 4 lives in a day, right? Guess what? It ain't going to happen for this girl. I am too tired to do that. I would be too tired by the end of the day. I cannot put up my success on the same level as that. I have to use my own success where I feel I can be successful. And then when something happens in life where I can't do whatever it is, I need to be okay with it. I cannot sit there and beat myself up. Now, I knew yesterday if I didn't find some way, I knew I needed to postpone this live for today. I know if I'm going to sit there beating myself up, right? Because I didn't do a lot this live yesterday. It was gonna be too much. I even went in, I changed it from 6:30 to 8, and I thought, "No, I can't." I knew I needed to come live because I knew I had that were, um, people that were going to be worrying and wondering if I was okay and wondering about the situation with the plane ticket and all that kind of stuff, and I needed to come live. But people sat there and just said, "We're here for you, and you look tired," and we talked, and we showed off Mocha, and it was fine. It was very relaxed, and I actually enjoyed that. Kristen says, "None of us should compare ourselves to Aaron. That dude is a machine." I agree, but I'm using that, Kristen, too, as just an example from one content to creator to another. Let's look at Tommy. Let's look at the lifeboat. That's another perfect example, right? Let's look at the lifeboat. I don't know how Tommy did it for the years that he did it, but he was on twice a day. If everybody thinks that the YouTube thing is just turn on the camera and go, it's not. It can be an exhausting thing to be able to do content. And like we're making sure that everything's kind of scheduled out, right? You know, everything's kind of scheduled out so it takes things off of our plate. But if I tried to come on here and do a live twice a day, even though that would be wonderful, right? I would fail. I wouldn't be successful because I tried that. I thought I'm going to come on and do a live every single day. Didn't work. I was burned out too quickly because I'm dealing with a chronic illness. I don't know when a headache or a migraine is going to go whoop, pop out of nowhere. Do I have tools in place? I've got the paint pouring set up for the month of after Patty leaves. I have I have I I sent a picture of the blanket. I took a picture last night of it actually. Of the blanket that I'm working on that I need to get done for the person that's asking me to do it, right? And so this is how far I've gotten so y'all can see. That's the temperature blanket that I've been commissioned to do. See that? Um, and she said to me, "That's fine." She said, "No problem." I said, "I'm into April." So that's fine, no problem. She said, "It's not due till Christmas." And I said, "Before you know it, Christmas is going to be here. I'm working to try to get it done. I want to get it done. I want to put it in the back burner and move on to other things." Um, so my whole thing yesterday was, "Oh, I need to get this done." And it winded up, I didn't end up getting it done. One thing that I did get done and I didn't think it was going to take me as long is this. I made a disco ball keychain. I was so proud of my little self. Now I'm going to go to Walmart, uh, maybe on our way home tomorrow. And I will see. And Red Heart yarn has a really pretty silver sparkle, right? And I'm gonna make these. I'm gonna make colored ones. I tried to use like a darker blue. However, when I did the darker blue, even though it came from the same thing and the same store, it made the thing too thick. So these were not all matching as far as you needed them to do a row of like 28, 29 single crochet back and then make 6 rows. Well, the strip was like this long with these 3 colors, and then with this other color, it was like this long. I don't know what. I used the same hook, the same number, but I don't know whether it was thicker yarn, but it wasn't working out. So anyway, I'm making these because my mom and I are doing an upcoming show um, in November. So we need to make some of these for that. Aren't these cool? I think these are going to be so cool. I'm going to do this one's. I think I'm going to keep for myself because it was my first one. I think I'm going to do some with some not sparkle yarn, but very very colorful yarn. And these will be going up in the merch store. I'm trying to figure out how to print the disco ball saying, especially with the solid silver ones. They say you to use 3 colors, but if I use the silver, it'll look more like a disco ball. Um, and it's got sparkly stuff in it, and it's Red Heart, and it's at Walmart. I need to go get it. Um, I'm trying to figure out how to put the disco ball in either like a bookmark or something. I found these like little card sealer things so I could put them in there somehow so that the disco ball saying can go with each one of these. But then I'll just have ones that aren't like disco ball things. But I made a disco ball, isn't that cool? So I'm gonna do them with different colors. But I I didn't do I did I've never thought that would take all day. Probably if I was a little bit more with it, I probably wouldn't take it all day. Now I'm going to experiment with that. Now that we've talked about success, I'm going to do just a little bit on the end, and then I'm going to get off here. And I think I need to go have a little bit of a rusty poo. Um, I'm making these. Okay, when I first made um, these, I used the tires that you put in for your hair. And we use these in our kitchen. I love them because you do not have to sit and pick up the darn towel about 3,000 times. It falls off the oven, right? And I use hair bands. Well, the hair bands are stretchy, right? And they really make for quite a heck of a thing. They're stretchy and they get out of whack and so forth. Well, I found these, which people use in the store for their acrylic, for using for like putting up scarves and stuff like that to hang stuff with. So, I liked this because they're not wood. People use wood, which is fine, macrame, wooden wings. But then if you wanna wash these, you're gonna warp the wood eventually. So, I wanted to go more with an acrylic thing, so I ordered some of these. I'm trying to do a little bit of experiment, right? This one, as you can see, has a little button on it. Now, I got the button on it, a little bit of a pain in the neck to put the button on, but I would do it. So, um, I'm going to do one with the button, okay, so that when you put it over the oven like this, you would be able to I guess I should do it this way. When you put it over the oven like this, you take this and then would put this through like this, and it's not going anywhere, okay? So, that's that, okay, and these would also make, if you're a crocheter, these would make, and I will put it, in the description of this video, these would make great rings to make wreath ornaments for. Just crochet around it. All I did was a single crochet, and then all I did with this was a single crochet, s- uh, do another crochet, skip a crochet, a slip stitch, single crochet, skip a stitch, slip stitch. That's all it was. These would make great little wreaths, Christmas wreaths. Just put some yarn around it, maybe add some more border around it, put some holly on it. These would make great wreath ornaments too as well. But then I'm going to do an experiment because even though I like the button, it's a little bit of a hassle. Little bit of a hassle to put on, right? Yeah. Um, but I like it. But I'm going to see if we have a problem and I need to take the ones I have off and replace it. So I wanted to keep two for myself, right? Um, I'm going to do ones, and I've started one here to do without the button, okay, so that it would just literally be put over the oven, and I think, honestly, because it has a little bit of weight to it, I honestly think that it would hold itself perfectly fine without it slipping around because of the weight of this. It's not heavy, heavy, but it has a little bit of a weight, just a little bit. And then that way, um, I wouldn't have to put the button on, and so we're gonna kind of experiment. And, I could then, after I've gotta get this blanket on, I'm gonna be putting these up in the merch store, anybody that's interested, and, then the great I wouldn't wash these in the washer. If you needed to wash them, I would just wash them in the sink and just hang them on your oven and let them dry. So if they will be fine and dandy without me having to put the ring on, then I'm not gonna put the ring on. I'm just gonna do it like this and just imagine the rest of this done with the other hanger like this behind it. And this is the pattern that I came up with the ones for Blessed to Crochet. I really like the bobble stitch The lady I did the pattern from, she had 4 bobble stitches across. I didn't like that. So I ended up with 2. The bobble stitches really help by not making the yarn too stretchy. It actually gives it a lot of wonderful support. So then, if by chance this one works without the button, the button, even though the button's cute, it's a little bit of a pain, then I will do this without the button. But I thought, it's no good if I don't test it, right? So we're gonna test it. I'm doing it, and then I'm gonna put it up in our kitchen, and we're gonna see which one is the most successful, and then I will start making them at the end of the month and putting them up in the merch store and making some for and I thought I could even make some towel sets with them. Put some towels, hand towels with them and make some sets out of them. And then I will be taking them to the craft store. And I will let you know which is more successful. And these will be ours. Whether it's going to be the one with the button or does it matter if the button's on there or not. If it doesn't matter, then I'm going without the button just because it's faster and easier and simpler. But, you know, this is one of the things I have in my arsenal to do, plus some blankets, plus some projects, plus, the paint pour, everything that I can do, not to take my mind off of Patty. It's not the goal is to take my mind and not deal with the pain. The goal is at one point in time, as I'm even doing now, is we're doing what we call the trunk theory, right? Everybody's familiar with that. If they're on my channel, they're familiar with it, right? They're familiar with the trunk theory, which is, and this was given to me by my therapist, and it actually has become very, very helpful. I have had to start, hi Fairbrooks, I have had to start making sure that I am putting my emotions right now in the trunk. When I am too tired, when I am too exhausted, when I have just had enough, when my mind last night, I was listening to Cricket and I said, I'm going into lurker mode and I'm going to close my eyes because she said, lurk. I needed somebody talking. I needed to shut it down. When the emotions right now are just getting too overwhelming, I am giving myself permission to pull out Patty's car and place those emotions in the trunk. This is not saying bury them. It is not saying you're not dealing with them. You are dealing with them. But there's some times in life where our emotions get overwhelming. Whatever is going on get overwhelming. And by, you know, you're just too tired to deal with them anymore. You have to put them in the trunk. You have to give your body a break. It is so important to do so. So throughout this entire time, the way I'm also being successful is that I'm putting my emotions or allowing my emotions to be placed in the trunk, right? I'm saying to myself, I'm glad you needed it, Duke. I'm allowing myself to put my emotions in the trunk. What am I going to have to do when Patty's here? I'm going to have to put my crying emotions in that dang on trunk. Those emotions I'm going to have to do. When she leaves, I'm going to be able to pull them out. When I give her that final hug before she gets on that plane, yeah, they're going to have to be pulled out. And if the whole airport sees us cry, I don't give a rat's behind. They do not know what is going on. They have no idea. None. And I don't care. We get in the car and we go home. Guess what? Those emotions, they're going to be raw. And I may need to come home Put the emotions in the trunk and say, they're going in there for a while. And there's going to be sometimes I'm going to come on here and I'm going to open that trunk because why? I'm not by myself. I have my husband and my mom. Don't get me wrong. I need those. I have my daughter. I need those rocks. And I have Jesus. I need those. I need that rock. He is the ultimate. I need to be running to him for comfort and peace. Absolutely. I know that I will see my aunt again. I know she's going to be walking with my dad one day. I and her mom. I know all that. But this is still pain. This is still hard. This is still a loss. And I know that I can come on in a safe place around friends and connections that I've made and get on here and cry and say, cancer sucks and be angry about it. I can get on here saying, being respectful, not, do anything. I can come on here being mad at it. I can hate the situation, and I do. I can be upset this is happening. I can cry. I can do all that because we have built a community where I have said from day one, nobody is going to suffer in silence. Not everybody is going to like me. That's fine. I don't care. Those that are here, those that are supportive within our community, those that are out in that they've taken the time to get to know me are here and they love me. And I'm so grateful. Not everybody's going to like you, and that's okay. I'm not here to be liked by the entire world. I'm here to be liked by the people that mean something to me. Why don't we start trying to do that? The haters out there, the people that want to make up rumors, the people that want to fly stuff because they're jealous because so and so's got this success or so and so's got that success or that or this or that. Does it matter? Why are you trying to be liked by somebody that doesn't give a rat's behind? Why don't you start caring about being liked and loved by the people that are there for you, that are standing up for you, that take the time to get to know you? Huh? That make their world a little bit more bright and give a little bit of sunshine. That's all that matters. If so and so down the street and you're putting all of your time into that person to be liked and loved and they're not reciprocating, go find somebody else that does. Go into the lifeboat. I guarantee you're going to find people that love you. And people say, oh, you can't find that on the internet. Yes, you can. Thank God it's there. Listen, people, from day one, I've sat there and said, the person that's here, and Krista and Melinda can tell that, Brazy Girl, Sandy Wandy, a lot of people that know me, sit there and say, the girl that's on this other side of this camera is the same girl that's in front of you. I'm no different. I have no problem telling it like it is. I will do it gracefully and nicely. I will tell it as it is. I remember we were still proud of Krista and Melinda, and I talked to her, and she had all these wonderful plans for going live, and I said to her, "Have plans. Be successful in that. You will." But I also knew one thing, and I don't think I told her this. Your schedule is going to fill up like that because she's just that kind of person. She is so easy to talk to. And what did I say? Your first day of work, order food in. Go pick up a rotisserie chicken. Have the plan to be successful. You're going to be tired the first day. You're going to be exhausted the second day. If you get to come live, wonderful. But if you don't, your community is going to understand because you have all new things. You're adjusting to so many things happening all at once. And at the end of the week, that week, I'll never forget it. She said to me, Mary, you were Absolutely right. Why? Because somebody, dear friend of hers, her sister, right, was not looking at the situation with the glasses off. When I take my glasses off, everything's blurry. I can't see a dang on thing from y'all. I put my glasses on, I can see it clearly. And I knew what was coming down the pike. I'm a little older. I'm a little older. You're still figuring out. You got one live this week. Do it from your car. Figure out a way to do it. You got it. And we got you. But my point of it was I knew what was coming down the pike. I saw the situation with clear glasses on. I know that she had every best intention to come on live. Yeah, I said to her, there's no way you can keep your live schedule going and working the way you're doing. There's just no way. She said, "You're right. So start preparing your audience now for the fact that you may only be able to do a live a couple days a week, and they'll understand." And what did I do too? I said, "I'll be more than willing to pitch it every once in a while." So, you tell people, "I can't come live tonight, but Mary will come live." That's what friends do. We help each other be successful. We don't knock each other down. There's no sense in it. Knocking each other down does nothing. It doesn't build success. Don't compare yourself to anybody else's success. Yeah, it's how can I do this? It's a disaster waiting to happen, right? If we try to put ourselves on a plate, on a level and say, I'm going to live up to that success, and you can't obtain it, then you're just going to be beating yourself up over and over and over again. I'm sitting here thinking we're only 474 hours away from 3,000. And I didn't think that was a reachable goal. And I can tell you from somebody who's watched those hours climb, every hour is golden. And yet some of them have hit that within a month. By the time we get done with that 3,000 mark, boy, we have worked for every solitary one of them. They haven't come by easily, and that's okay. They've come in with a lot of hard work, but we've seen it through till the end. You know, you and I think it happens within the YouTube community. You look at channels and they're this and they I've gotten to the point where, you know what? I'm not comparing myself to anybody else. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to be my own successful because then I'm just going to beat myself up for it. I don't need to beat myself up for it. Stop beating yourself up because you didn't do something the way somebody else does it. Who cares? Do it the way that it's if something works for you, right? Something works for you, then you do it. What we're doing right now with the whole, dinner situation is not working because what's happening is like, oh, I have no idea what to fix for dinner. Oh, it's 6 o'clock. Oh, I'll just throw in some chicken nuggets. Here you go. It's not solving the problem. It's not solving the problem for me, and it's not solving the problem for my mom. So in order to be successful, I had to find some way in order to make sure that I could plan meals out so we could be successful. So this whole little thing that I'm doing with the freezer meals and stuff may work beautifully for me, but it may not work for somebody else. Fine. It worked for the lifeboat wonderfully to come on twice a day. It ain't gonna work for this girl. I was hoping today, hi AC. I was hoping today to be able to come in and actually or actually record I want to start doing quotes Mondays or reflection Saturday. And I was hoping to be able to do that. And I don't know if I'm going to have the energy to go and do that. So if that doesn't get done, that's fine. If that doesn't get done today, it's okay. We'll be fine. But I am going to start this month off with quotes that are successful. I really wanted to look at the quote from Dolly Parton because I thought that would be a great way to start out. I still may end up doing that before when I get off here. But um, you got to plan for it. I don't think in life and not everything is planned. And I think the next great topic to talk about is when plans don't work. Isn't that a great one? We're talking about planning for success, right? But what about when you can't plan for it and it just happens? How can you be still successful when the things that fly in life happen? When the unexpected happens, that's the next thing that we'll talk about. Is when the unexpected things happen, how do we plan for them to be successful? Now we're talking about setting up for it. I'm going to set up the freezer meal schedule. I'm going to put up what we're having when we go to the store. I'm going to do that probably tomorrow. We don't go to the store till Tuesday. So between now and then, it's going to be planned out. But if you plan it out to be successful, what happens when things don't plan out right? What happens when things are out of your control? Can you still be successful in the midst of things happening that are unplanned? What are the tools that you can use? I think it'd be a great topic. So, quotes this month are going to be all about quotes for success. And then the next month is just going to be random quotes that really just, I think, special quotes that I found that really mean a lot to me. And then we'll do fall quotes in October, Thanksgiving quotes in Thanksgiving, and we're gonna do December Christmas quotes in December, and we'll do New Year's resolution kind of quotes in October or January. And another thing that I would like to do, another topic I think would be good to have, is why wait till this January to do a New Year's resolution? It'd have been really easy. We wait until New Year's and we say, "Okay, I'm gonna get to the gym." Does it happen? No. We fail miserably. Don't work. We're great for it for about a month. And then stuff hits the fan and what do? We stop doing it. Why do we need to wait till January 1st to start a New Year's resolution? I'm really glad that I did not start Weight Watchers January 1st of 2025. I'm real glad I started it now. Because I know if I had started it, and if anybody is interested in Weight Watchers, there's a referral code in the description. If I had started doing the weight loss goal in January 1st, I'd already been sitting at 10 pounds heavier. I'm sitting at 4.4 pounds less. I only weigh myself Mondays and Thursdays. I'm sitting at 4.4 pounds. Why? Because I didn't wait till January. And the other day, I stepped on the scale and I was 4.4 pounds. I gained a pound in the mix of all the stress with Patty. And then I got on the scale the other day and I had lost that pound. And so if I had thrown in the towel and said, "This isn't working. I forget this. I'm not going to do this. This is ridiculous." I'm sticking with it. I'm going to see it through. I'm going to get through it. It's going to happen. Over the course of my life, I have learned valuable variables happen regularly. Allowing for that allows you intently insightful creativity to prevail. Absolutely. And this is why I have my water in a jug that has 64 ounces. So much I've had today. If I don't have it in here, then I've got bottles floating around, cups floating around. How much water did I have? I'm really intent, and I've missed a couple days of it on and off, but I'm really intent to make sure that I finish this entire bottle by the end of the day. I am setting myself up for success. I got this at Walmart. They don't have any more, but setting up for success to make sure that I have finished the water intake that I'm supposed to do for the day. If it's not in here, I have found out really honestly, I stopped doing it for a couple days, and what happened? I didn't get my water in me. I'm like, "Wait a minute, I gotta go back to this. This is what is working." Here's another thing too. I never intended this slide to be this long, but oh well. Watch hours. Here's the thing too about it. My husband drinks a lot of water in the day. He's a diabetic. He drinks it. Rub it in, why don't you? Honey, I see you. Anyway, here's the thing. When what you're doing isn't working, stop. Give yourself permission to stop, right? Giving yourself permission to say, this is not working. Finding the way that works and sticking with it. If it works for you to realize you have to get through 4 bottles of 16-ounce waters in a day, wonderful. But if you know if you put your water in this, you're going to drink it within the day, right? Then do what works. And if it doesn't work, stop. Find something else that does. Going forward in the strength and knowing who one is, not one who not who others have told you us we are, bodes well. We are our own best advocate and supporter. Absolutely. That's okay. And I don't think I'm reading correctly either today. But here's the other thing to that, Lori. Yes, we're our own best advocate and supporter, but dang on it, we better put connection points all the way around us. That's why I started, and again, I will put it in here if anybody is interested, if anybody needs it. Is the Lighthouse Beacons is our Facebook group for um for the page. But then if anybody wants some support for either healthy eating, weight loss, and so forth, that is the disco ball group. That is separate. That's just for people looking for accountability and that kind of thing. If anybody wants to join, here's the Facebook group for that. Um, we need to make sure that we are surrounding ourselves with connection points. I know for a fact I could not do this battle to some degree, and it is a battle of addiction to food without the support of people that are going through the same thing. If I go in that group and say, "Hey, I want mint chocolate chip ice cream," and I'm just using that because it's one of my favorite. I want mint chocolate chip ice cream in the worst way. There's going to be a lot of people saying, "Nope, what can you do and what is the alternative to that?" The alternative I found. It's not identical, but it's finding that York, I found it. It was finding, let's see if I can pull it up again. It's this York peppermint patty mix, and it's that. I found this. It's dark chocolate. It doesn't taste exactly like it, but it's just Jello mix. I take 2 tablespoons of the Jello mix, put it in the cup or half a cup of yogurt, and um, put it in the yogurt. Put 2 tablespoons of chocolate chips. Now I've got something that, depending whether I have 1 tablespoon or 2, is either 3 or 5 points. I've now done an alternative to the mint chocolate chip ice cream, and I love it. But it's more filling, it's protein, I'm eating better, and, I had a protein shake when I woke up this morning at 10 o'clock. I'm finally hungry. It's just setting it up for success. But we've got to do it with the support of others. Don't be ashamed to ask for accountability for people. Oh, Brazy, it is the best thing in the world. That trick of taking different kind of flavored Jello mix, powdered, and putting in non-fat yogurt, taking a cup of it, whether you put the little, and I just get the little mini chocolate chips, just a little bit, and so forth. It is so filling, and it is so good. Yesterday, I took last night for dinner. There was Sonic's Jello instant pudding mix, and I put 2 tablespoons of the birthday cake powder in the thing. Oh, it was so good. And they do have Jello has a cheesecake one, right? And I thought, "That's like 6 points." So I'm like, "I'm gonna get some of that, and when I'm craving cheesecake, I can make this concoction up." I took a whole gallon of, and I could even take that, um, the, um the yogurt and the York mix, Jello mix thing with the chocolate chips, and I could even put it together and make it like a concoction and throw it in the freezer. And now I've got frozen, right? And it's not gonna be the same, but it's something different. But they have a cheesecake one. I could even do it and put it in the yogurt, put it in the freezer if I wanted. I took a quart of the non-fat Greek yogurt, frozen cherries, which are totally zero. The yogurt is zero, and I took a couple tablespoons of the chocolate Jello instant pudding mix, and I put that in there, and a little bit of honey just for a little sweetness, and I can pull that out of the freezer, and now I have chocolate dark cherry or dark chocolate black cherry like ice cream. And, I'm actually gonna go have some when we get done with this live because it's like 2 or 3 points, and that's it for, like, a good amount, and I'm like, "This is great. What am I doing?" I know that when I am sad, I know when I don't wanna feel pain anymore, I know when I don't wanna hurt my I go right to sweets. It is what I do to feel better every time. So I know that that's what I tend to do. Is it a good mechanism? No, it's a terrible mechanism, but it's what I do. So I want to make sure that I have got things in the place so that I can make sure that I've got stuff in place to be able to be successful. And so if I lean to that, is the yogurt concoction with the York peppermint patty mix, and they're gonna taste like mint chocolate ice cream? No. But it is better than what I would like to do. It fixed that. I felt like I had something a little sweet, but I also felt like I was hitting healthy, and I was proud of myself at the end of it. So because I know that about me, I know that that's what I gravitate to when I'm dealing with emotions. I know I gravitate to that when I'm hurting. I know I do. It is just what I've done my entire life. It wasn't the savory stuff that got me. It was the sweet stuff. It always did. Always gave me that fix. It always helped me feel numb. I know I better put things in place that are healthier options when I'm going in that direction. And it's okay. As long as they're a couple points, as long as they're not going to, they're healthy and great. I'll take them all day long. It's also important to realize not everyone who pro- pro- purports to be supportive actually turns out to be. This life dealing with others often have an agenda that you know, doesn't do well. I agree. I agree. I think we have to be careful. We need to make sure that we're surrounding ourselves with supportive people. But I think sometimes taking that leap and making it happen, for instance, Bracy, I tell you, I am so proud of you. I'm so proud of how much you've grown and how far you've come. She's a tremendously supportive person. Jason P is, Crafty Witch, Kristen Melinda, that's in the chat, is like a sister to me. We connected through my channel, through the lifeboat, I remember her specifically saying in the chat, "I don't know how to be a friend. It's been a long time since I've had a friend." And, she also and so we started talking, and we feel like we've known each other forever, and she has become like a sister. Now, mind you, I have raised an autistic individual. She is married and grown. She is raising someone with autism. I can understand her battle in a way that a lot of people can't. If you haven't raised a child with autism, that's a battle that, you know, it's a lot easier to understand if you've gone down that path. And we need that. We need those people that are supportive. And, you know, we've got to have them in our lives and we've got to take that leap. And we've said it multiple times since January when we really started coming on this channel. I said to Kristen, "I'm sure glad we took that leap and decided to be friends." She said, "Yeah, I'm really glad it is because there has been times I've been on the phone with her, and I've cried. She's been on the phone with me and cried, and we have just been. We know we're in our five. We know either one of us can call, and we may not be always able to answer, but we will do our best to be there. And if I don't see her in the chat for a couple days, I'm going to be finding out. I'm going to be making sure she's okay, and that's what you do. You have to trust sometimes that you're going to do it. You got to. Sometimes you have to take that leap. You need to be careful. I'm very careful. There is people within the community that I have grown that have my phone number, and there's other people that I wouldn't trust with 10-foot pole with them. I don't hand that out like hot sauce packets, right? There are people that have them. I know. It's usually people, very few have it because, and if they have it, I want to trust them explicitly with it. And there's people that I would that don't have it that I would trust with. Um, and I'm grateful for that. Um, but I think that sometimes we need to take that leap. And are there people that are going to say, "Well, you're attached to the lifeboat and this and that," and do you know who you're done? Who's behind. Listen, y'all, just I don't wanna hear it. I'm like Tommy. There's stuff said about me, unless it's stuff that really feels that needs to get to my attention, I don't wanna know about it. Have your opinion about me. Say all you want about me. If people have the time, I felt sad really for Reese and Tommy yesterday. I thought, "People, if we have the time to sit here and do this childish stuff, why can't we use that time to be successful and become successful in what we need to do?" If we can go back and forth and do all this kind of stuff and make childish stuff and go after this and go after that and you know my to down to the minute detail, find something to do to be successful. Sitting there backlashing people is not going to do anything good. I have nothing, absolutely anything, nothing whatsoever to say bad about the lifeboat, and I will come as a proud supporter of it, 100%, as well as Tommy. Because my life has changed since December of last year because of it. And I will support Reese as well. I will support Kristen. I will support all the ripples coming off the lifeboat. They are dear friends of mine. 110%. You want to come at me for things for talking bad? Go someplace else. I ain't gonna be here. I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it. And it's just sad when you think of all the good Tommy's done over the past 8 or 9 years. People want to still go back to his past. Let it go. Do not criticize somebody's past. If they've changed over a new leaf, let them. And if they've made mistakes, they've made mistakes. Haven't we all? Nobody needs to sit there and judge anybody else. Look at yourself. That's not how to be successful. Being successful is saying, "You know what? I'm gonna be successful, and this is how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna rock it. I'm not gonna worry about anybody else, what anybody else is doing. I'm gonna do my own thing. And if somebody has done something in the past, you need to look at yourself before you criticize anybody else. Because I guarantee you, every one of us, everyone, our past is not the prettiest to picture. Sometimes our past has been an absolute mess, but it's how we've come through it. Come through it. And sometimes we do not know what's going on behind the closed doors. This week dealing with my aunt's loss, and I'm not going to go into it. There's been another situation that came up. It has been emotional for me to see my mother go through it. There's the other situation with the other family member that's kind of attached to this my aunt's situation, the aunt situation. And so there's been a lot and a lot of stress this week. A lot. And I won't sit here and tell about any of the other situations behind that are going behind the scenes. You have a great day, Duke. I'm going to talk about it. Nobody else's business. But sometimes you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Everybody can look like they got their act together and they don't. We need to keep people's past in the past. It's where it belongs. If you st- if somebody's past want to keeps bringing up, you know what you need to do? I have it in here. Remember what I did? No fishing. Whatever your past is going to keep you from being successful now. If Tommy would have sat there saying, "Oh, you see, it was this. Oh, do you see, I did this." Oh, you know what? If he hadn't used it for good, if he hadn't said, "I used to have a drug issue. I was in prison at one time in my life. I was this, I was that. But how can I use this so that else is having to go through this?" Right? He put all of those things in the ocean. He's going to talk about them because they're helping other people. They get to see, yes, I've done this, I've done that, right? But look at where I've come. Look how far I've come. Look what I have done, right? Look at what I've done. But there's people that won't put that in the past. Put your past, put it in the ocean, put a sign that says no fishing, and say, I'm not going to judge my success for what's in the past. He would not be where he is if he had harbored on the past. He wanted to use the past for good. He wanted to use his mistakes for good. He wanted to move forward. It doesn't mean that we can't still talk about it, but dredging it up, bringing it up, slamming yourself for it is not going to move you forward in success, is it? Now, with that being said, do I still have that on here? Because I want to play this. It's really important. I want people to hear this. I'm going to play this because this was a day as a reminder for people that are here that realize that this is a safe place to dump. This is a place to find accountability. It's also the place to find accountability in all walks of life. This was a day when I was really struggling, really struggling. I didn't want to go on the lifeboat. I learned from this because even through the struggle with my aunt, I've gone on the lifeboat and I've checked in and I've talked. I didn't want to be there. I didn't think anybody was going to notice me, right? I thought nobody's going to notice me. I'm going to put this comment up. Nobody will notice me. I didn't want to go in. I was crying in my coffee. I went in the lifeboat. I posted something. Nobody's going to notice it. Nobody's paying attention. Tommy saw it and he gave me a loving little kick in the behind. And so I'm going to give you all a little kick in the behind through Tommy's words because I don't think I can say it as well as he did. I want you to remember if you are struggling with something, The lighthouse is always on. It's what this channel was done for. You see the crochet word. Just because I crochet does not mean that this channel was set up to teach you how to crochet. I don't want to teach you how to do this. I will send you where you can learn how to do it. I want connection and creativity. You are blessed to do something. What are you blessed to do? But if you're going through a struggle, as I am going to go through over the next couple of months here with my aunt, I'm going to be in this chat. I'm going to make sure that I'm connected. I'm not going to suffer in silence. I'm not going to not show up. I'm going to say this is a safe place to dump. The lifeboat is a safe place to dump. I have friends there. They're going to help me through. I'm not suffering in silence, and I'm not gonna struggle by myself. Hear Tommy's words for a minute, just as a reminder. I'll let him play.
I am trying so hard not going into a hole of negative about myself. It is so hard, or beating myself up for who I am. Hiding in a corner is easier. Nonsense. Well, easier, yes, but there's absolutely nothing that you're going to get in that corner. That's the problem. It's way easier to hide in a corner. There's no question, right? However, if you're hiding in the corner, all of life is passing you by that you're not interacting, right? We know, Mary Jones, that connection, right, is the cure for everything. You've experienced this, right? So if you're hiding in the corner, you're not connecting. Mary Jones, you're sorry to dump at the lifeboat? That's it. You're getting chastised. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be nice, but you're getting chastised. Mary, we come here to dump. That is what the lifeboat is. This is where you come so that you don't suffer in silence. You're not allowed to apologize for dumping at the lifeboat. That's just silly. I love you, by the way, but you're not allowed to apologize for that.
So life is better on the lifeboat. It's better here, talking and communicating, and making sure that we're all connected. And I'm telling you what, that little clip that I was able to clip from that day, and I'm thankful that I use it, and I want to use it because Tommy says it's so much better than I could. I have that on my phone, and I know that there's going to be days coming up where I'm going to have to play that. I'm going to have to be reminded, Mary, don't beat yourself up for being you. This is a safe place to dump. Don't hide in the corner. You can do this. And so I'm going to have to play that clip a couple times, maybe even every day, to make sure that I remember and remind myself when I don't want to show up, Mary, you got to show up, right? You got to show up. And if you go over to our other channel, which is the Blessings Through Connection, there is a playlist there for all of the ripples of the lifeboat. I will be adding more. If anybody's looking for that, there are also other playlists. And after my aunt leaves, I'll set up some more over there so people can go find some amazing content in other channels. I'm going to be playing that pretty regularly. I think to be successful, we have to be connected. To be successful, we know that there's going to be hard times ahead of us. We need to be connected. We can't do this independently. We can't do it by ourselves. And dang on it, we better find somebody to stay connected to. We better find them. We need to be careful. We need to do it safely. Make sure that we're doing it safely. We're not just trusting every Tom, Dick, and Harry out there. We need to make sure of that. But yeah, we need to forgive ourselves. But um, we can do this, but we can do it together. And so, just on a little side note, thank you so much for your prayers and your thoughts and your understanding. Um, we do, I do know where my aunt's going. She knows where she's going, but it's still hard. I just keep saying I don't want her to suffer, but I'm not ready to say goodbye. And that's okay. I don't know if I'll ever be ready to say goodbye. I honestly don't. I wasn't ready to say goodbye to my dad when he left this world or my grandmother. I wasn't ready. I don't think I'll ever be ready. But I'm going to make sure that wherever I am pound wise by the time Patty comes here, whether I'm down another 2 pounds, I'm going to enjoy myself while she's here. I'm still going to kind of watch my points a little bit. But if at the end of her visit I gain those 2 pounds back, I ain't going to beat myself up. I'm not. I know that what I'm doing is working, and I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be successful because of all the other people around me. And we're going to do this thing we call life together successfully. And I will put that article that I found I thought was so great. I'm going to have to come up with a PDF screenshot that says, eat the live frog first. I love that. And I'll come up with the smart goals. I'll get those on a PDF thing. But I'm going to have to come up with a frog. It says, eat the live frog first. I love that. I thought just the thought of sitting there with a live frog thinking, I have to put this thing in my mouth, that's hard. So, you know what? Saying to yourself, do the hard things in life first. Do the hard things the first thing in the morning. Don't put it off till tomorrow. Eat that frog first. Eat that live frog first. I love that. I love that analogy. Come up with whatever you want. For Tommy, it may be eat the Vegemite first. Oh yeah, throw in Vegemite, Tommy. There you go. Maybe it's taking a spoonful of Vegemite or eating 100-year-old egg or whatever it is. It's difficult, you know. Like tonight, I don't have any plans spectacular for dinner. I don't. I have nothing to put down for dinner. I have no idea what it's going to be yet, and that's what I don't want to continue because that's making. Hi, Mischief Manage. How are you? You'll have to go back and watch it. For those that coming in, we are 474 watch hours away from 3,000. We're so close. So close to the 3,000. And a spoonful would be far too much. And like I said, I will let you know the test. The test is this towel this this these things are great for the towel holders. Whether the one for the with the button works better or the one without the button works better. I would prefer doing the one without the button first than the one with because the button was a pain in the neck. And then when I figure out which one does, I will do a test. I will start putting these towel holder things. And if I could find some like really neat towel, like kitchen towels to put them with and make a set, I'm going to use scrap yarn that I have and make these. And then I will put them in the merch store. And if anybody's crafting, these were on Amazon. I'll put the link for these if anybody's looking for them. These are great. These would also, I think, make great wreaths if anybody's looking for them. And these are going, and then this way they could be washed and just washed under some water, um, washed under some water, and then they can be they're not going to get warped. And then we'll have our disco balls in there soon. The disco ball keychains. I'm going to be making some of these. I'm going to be going to get some silver glitter yarn from Red Heart. That's actually really cool at the Walmart. And I'm going to be making disco ball keychains to put up there. These cool, and I'll be putting them in different colors. I won't probably always use the glitter, but for the disco balls, I really want to. For the disco ball ones, I want to make them the silver. but I could do the color, but I think the silver will look like more like disco balls. So I did that yesterday, but I had to go figure out something for whatever. But we can do this. Yeah, aren't those cool? They're going to be in the merch store. But it was so frustrating, crazy, because like I said, this I wasn't planning to use this color. I was planning to use a darker teal, like a sparkly teal. And when I did that, this that strip was longer in that color than, and there I've got padding in here, right? That strip was longer than any of the other strips for whatever reason, even though it was the same yarn. Got it from Hobby Lobby. It was the same all the way around. It would not match up with the purple and the black strip. And they all have to be the same length. So I couldn't use that one for some reason. If I want to do one, I'll have to make that one solid because the strips are all different. Um, but I probably won't always use sparkle ones, but I'll have to pay attention. I don't know whether it was that specific yarn or whether it was that specific skein. Hi, Gray. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm gonna have to see because they have other colors. It'd be fun to do one for Christmas, red, white, and green, or like autumn. Like they have different colors with the sparkle on. I'm just gonna have to really pay attention to the thickness of the yarn when I get them for this. But I really like the sparkle on it. I really like the sparkle on it. The glitter yarn. I really like the glitter, but there's also other there's also, yeah, I'm gonna be putting these up at the merch store and making disco balls. There's also other it would also look very pretty with different kind of like colors, like just plain colors, or even like pattern yarn would look pretty in it. If it was colorful enough, I think it would look really pretty. Glow in the dark yarn would be really awesome. That would be really cool to get some glow in the dark yarn and make them out of glow in the dark. That would look really, really cool. Imagine these in glow in the dark. So there's so many options. But I'm trying to use up some of my scrap yarn right now. Not everybody will like the glitter stuff, but I think they're really cool. They look like disco balls. This is such a better idea than the original one I had. I was really trying to make a disco ball and it wasn't. I ended up undoing it and I'm like, these are so much better. So much better. So this is gonna be mine. First one's gotta save for me, right? That one's gonna be mine. And then working on these, working on these. We'll do the test without the button with the button without. I'd rather do without the button, really. But I did the button because I thought that's okay. So anyway, thank you for putting on the playlist. Anybody that wants to put on the playlist. That last stream I did from the nature sounds, it was so calming. I actually watched it from I actually put it on myself because it was one of the days that I just needed to um just stop, just get my mind to relax. And I found this like really pretty. I just put it in here. I put the one I did. It's an 8-hour long stream, but or a 10-hour long stream. It's this beautiful house, and it had these falling like purple leaves. So you know, graphic done. And it had this really relaxing music in the background. And when one of the nights I just couldn't sleep, I actually put my own thing on and I just watched the purple leaves falling and I listened to the music and I was asleep very quickly. So that's why I'm putting them up. I'm putting them up there for watch hours, but I'm also putting them up there because I know people may need to use them themselves. And I'm going to be doing Thunder and Lightning Storm on Sunday. So we're Thunder and Lightning Storm on Sunday. I've got a list of other ones. I can't find. I've got to see if I can find some place to find a train. I haven't found a train I like yet. And I'm going to do wind chimes. I'm going to do that next week. I think next Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to do wooden wind chimes and then do, like, the metal wind chimes because people like different wind chimes. I can't stand those metal ones, but some people like them. That's fine. Like what you want. So, anyway, but just let's be kind to each other, y'all. I thought about that as Reese and Tommy did their lives last night. I thought, "Why can't we just all be kind to each other? Why do we have to be jealous of each other's success? Why do we have to beat each other up or sit there and try to trump one another or, spread gossip?" I mean, and there's just no need for it. What people do behind, in their own personal lives is their own personal lives. Let them be happy. Let them. I can I my first marriage was abusive. I know what that's like when you've gone through that. She's gone through so much in a year. Just in a year. I had to flee my ex-husband because my life was threatened. That was really scary. Walking away from the marriage was hard. It just, you know, just let's try to lift everybody up, not tear them down. Please. You know, if you've not walked a mile in their shoes, go listen to Elvis Presley's song "Walk a Mile in My Shoes." You have no right to criticize. I look back, I look at the lifeboat, and I think, you know what? I wouldn't be where I am without it today. I wouldn't. I wouldn't have the connections I have. I wouldn't be where I am. My mom, my husband both say, "You get your talking fix out there, because you're a talker." And I look at Reese and she's happy, and I look at Tommy and he's happy. You know what? Let them. Let them. They deserve it. Both of them. Both of them. If you get to live your life and you have somebody that loves you, you know, go for it. Let them be happy. Let them thrive. Let us all thrive. We can thrive together, not pulling each other down. Don't work. And I will gladly support both of those people tremendously and have their back. So let's let's do this together. Yep. Yeah, it was hard. It was hard to walk away. Yep. Just had to walk away. And at the very beginning, I would have walked out when I found out I was, carrying Christina. I'd have walked out with the shoes on my feet and the clothes on my back. I'm gone. I'm out of here. I'd have walked away. If I needed to do that, I would have done it. I would have done whatever I needed to do. And that's exactly what I did. And, we have no reason, no right to criticize anybody unless we walked a mile in their shoes. And, if you see a content creator out there and they're just doing good content, then support them. If they're trashing other content creators, walk away, people. Walk away. Don't get you all people know, and this is just a quick little YouTube side note. You people know when you're watching stuff, when you're watching it, you're paying that content creator. Now, we're not monetized yet, but you are paying them to sit there and watch it. So if they're sitting there trashing another content creator that you respect and care for, you are paying them to do that. If they're sitting there trashing that other person, don't watch them. Don't. If you go to a restaurant, right, and you are served poor food, or if the prices are so outrageous for what you get isn't worth it, then get what? Guess what? Are you going to go back? If you go to a restaurant and you go and every time you go, the meat is undercooked or you are, the meat's undercooked, or the eggs are not cooked right, or you're given lousy service by the people there and the owner is terrible. It could be in the greatest spot in the world. Are you going to continue to go back? If I go to a restaurant and I have a terrible experience, I'm not going back. So, I'm not going back. There's a place we got my husband a chair. There is nothing in this world that will ever make me shop at the place again, ever. If I went back and shopped there again, I'd be foolish. So, if you are on and someone is bashing another content creator and you're watching them, don't click on their stuff. And if they bull bait you and get into a stream and they start negatively talking, turn it off and go find something else. It's not worth it. It's better to shut your phone down, shut the YouTube down than sit there and pay them to watch it. Don't do it. And I feel the same way Tommy and Reese do. I don't want to hear it. Somebody wants to bash me, I don't want to hear it. Now, if it's stuff that the person feels I need to know about is being said about me, that is either defamatory to a point of going out of bounds and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't want to know. If a channel wants to do something about us, go ahead. I don't want to know about it. Don't watch it. If there's stuff on there, don't watch it. Don't believe everything that's said and done. You know what? There's been people that have been saved through the fact that the lifeboat exists. There are people that are there in such a way that their life has changed because of the lifeboat. Ripples have come out from the lifeboat. And I thought it was so ironic yesterday, honestly, that Reese, first of all, I thought it took a lot of nerve. And I respect her even more after yesterday. And I am one of the moderators there, and I'm grateful to be able to be a moderator. And I'm also a moderator on the lifeboat. Um, where she said to the mods, and I know it, hands off, do not delete any comments or anybody, as long as it's, you know, just let it loose. Hands off. We literally did not delete one comment yesterday. We were told not to by the content creator, which is fine. Hands off. We interacted within the chat, but we were told hands off, do not delete one comment. It was specifically asked of us, and we did that. I thought that took a lot of nerve. What was ironic about the entire thing that I thought um was so was was so amazing was that all the comments that come up when the live chat, when the moderators have the ability to use their hammer, we still had the ability, but we did not do it. Nobody said anything. Whew. They said stuff, but not anything compared to what they do when people have the ability to put down the hammer. Nobody came out of the woodwork. It was disappointing to some degree. It's like, okay, now you've been given literally carte blanche to just go, and nobody did it. And I thought, you know what? What she did last night took a lot of nerve. And Tommy did exactly the same thing. He just said two things. Unless there was somebody bashing another content creator or being disrespectful to someone else in the chat, otherwise, don't lay a hand on them. I thought that took a lot of nerve from both of them. Honest to goodness. And I have more respect for both of them than I did even last night. I have high respect for both of them. You know, you don't have to agree with all my values and morals. It's okay. I may not always agree with you, but we can walk away agreeing as friends and saying we're going to agree to disagree, which I think that whole art has been lost. Now, for anybody watching the stream, the hour and a half I didn't intend to be on here for 3 hours. That's fine. Hour and a half in was really the chunk of success. The other was just us chit-chatting and having fun and talking and bringing up subjects. So if you want the chunk of what planning for success was, you go and listen to the first hour and a half. You you can gladly watch the rest of it. You don't have to, but the first chunk is really that first hour and a half was really talking about the tools to plan to be successful. But it all kind of goes into it. You know, what is success? How are you going to measure it? What are you going to measure to yourself? I thought it took a lot of nerve, and I have high respect for both of them, both their channels. What they do in their private lives is their private life, and it's none of our business. But I'm going to sit here and say I consider the lifeboat part of my family. And right now, my family is shrinking on my mother's side of the family like you can't believe. And every little bit of extra family that I can get, I'm going to love it. And, people are just, I was honored to be asked to be a moderator on Reese's channel. I was honored that somebody came to me and asked with the thing of saying, you're a respected member of the lifeboat and you do your job well over there. And, you know, uh, it would be an honor to have you on this side too. And, that meant a heck of a lot. That shows to me my character and, my value that who I am and my characters to me when nothing's left, all you got is your character. That's why the trolls, went. They pushed the button and got people POD'd. Be the bigger person and ignore that what they are looking for. They'll leave on their own. Absolutely. I don't pay attention when somebody comes in this chat and wants to say stuff. I will delete it, but I don't pay much of attention to them. Go ahead, say what you want, but you're going to get the hammer put down if it's rude. It's rude and disrespectful. The hammer's going down. We got to do better. We have got to do better. You know, I don't understand cruelty, and I don't get it. But I thought that said a lot about my character. And understand most, if all of them, are not paid to be in there. There's no financial gain that they are getting. I'm not getting it from Lifeboat. I'm not getting it from Reese's. I go into Kristen's. I'm not getting anything. They're in those chats. I'm also a mod on Miss Dragon. I'm a mod on Lydia's channel. Why are they in those chats? Why are they stepping up to be a moderator? Why are they watching everything? Because when you're a moderator, it's a very different, going into a chat in the sense of you're doing something. Why are they doing it? Because they care enough. They care. They care about the content creator. They care about the channel. They want to see it flourish. They want to see it grow. If they're in there as a moderator for alternative reasons, I mean, I can place my link into the your independent wealthy. I don't need it. I'm not in your chat for money. I'm in it because I care about you. I'm in the lifeboat because I care. They've given me, so I'm going to go ahead and give back to them. But my point of it is this. They're in there because they care enough. They want to make sure that the content creator, hi Michelle, the content creator is protected and that somebody has their back if somebody wants to be asshat. I mean, honest to goodness gracious, and I've had some. Boy, did I have some. But the point of it is that they're not in there for riches. They're in there because they care about the content creator. They care about the community. They want to see it safe. If they're in there for alternative motives, it's going to come out. It's going to come out. It's going to show. Like I said, if I go into the lifeboat, we don't do it in Reese's channel, and that's fine. But in the lifeboat, if I place a ripple effect channel in the lifeboat, I am doing, and Kristen Brazy can be attest to that. I will put other people's links up before I will even drop myself. Today I was in there, I dropped Kristen's, I dropped My Other's Keeper, I dropped Ben Bacon Bits. Who else? I dropped Surviving Together, I dropped Between the Cracks. I may have done Surviving the Cracks or Surviving Together after I did mine. But I know I did Ben Bacon Bits, Kristen, My Other's Keeper, and I think Between the Cracks before I even dropped mine. And if the other moderators see me doing that, they may put in, and I think Kathy put in like I was doing a live today. I think because I told people I was doing a live on Planning Success. But it's not about me. I'm not in there to get myself pumped up. I'm in there because I care. I care about Tommy and his channel. I care what he's doing. I care about Reese. I know what that's like to walk away from an abusive marriage. I know what it's like. I've seen her blossom and grow. We're all proud of her. I care about Kristen. I care about, um, you know, Lydia. I don't want people. I care about Alfonso. I don't want to see anybody um, being bullied. I want the people coming in. That's why, Sandy Wendy, and I care about her. When if she does a live, I'm going to be there. Whether she makes me a mod or not is up to her. But I'll be there if she does. And if she doesn't, I'm still going to be there. But stop going to these other channels that are bashing people and giving them money to watch it. Don't do it. If I found something out on a channel that was bashing Tommy, I'm not going to go to Tommy and tell him about it. Not that I don't want to, but he's asked us not to. He said, please don't. I don't want to hear about it. They can talk about me. So I think we can do better. And I think a lot, you go onto Facebook, and I've seen them. I'm going to get off here in a few minutes. And you see them and they'll say, this person passed away today, right? And you click on it and they haven't passed away. Some star usually. It's at the top of your story thing, right? And they say you click on that and it's like halfway. Who? What? You know, they did that with Michael J. Fox. I'm like, did he pass away? And you go and find out he didn't. It's all bull baiting. Shade of Gray, you are doing an awesome job too. I'm not sure what all is going on, Bless, but all I know is that you've been on my channel and watched some of the story. You have not only accepted me, but encouraged me at my own pace. Thank you. You're welcome. Now, I was just talking, well, the first part of this whole thing was we were talking about the first hour and a half. You go back and watch. I was talking about planning for success as I've kind of stopped down in this weight loss journey. And I'm starting to realize that one of the things I need to really do is make sure there's freezer meals that I can put together. And in the description is a website I found out to get into her recipes and her help with putting together shopping lists and stuff. You have to, be a member of her website. But this is something I'm doing so that we can be successful in making sure that we're eating correctly and meals are prepared, especially with what's going on with my aunt. I don't know if you know, but my aunt's been diagnosed with stage 4 liver and lung cancer. It is now terminal. Chemo has stopped working. She is now, um, um, it is now spreading. She's actually coming up here by the grace of a lot of people. And if anybody does want to help, again, there's a community post um, in there. If they want to spread it on their channel, they're welcome to. If they want to spread it on their social media, they can. The um, um, the ticket to come here, um, the ticket the ticket to come here has been, or the ticket to go home was taken care of. That, and I'm not going to go into who did what. I'm not. The one to come here, a little bit was helped, which I was grateful, but there's still probably about we were able to get it, but the other tickets it's still about $220. So any help with any of that would be appreciative. The Venmo links and all the other links are put in the description of that. And the PayPal one is one that I just email me with one last hug and put your username, and I'll send you that one if you want to go through PayPal. And I just put it out there, and I thought if anything else, any additional is raised outside of the plane ticket, it would be for her visit while she's here, and then we would go ahead and hand her what was ever left over for her to use for bills and expenses as she's kind of dealing with this. They're talking hospice. Um, she's not ready to hear that, so um, I will be going on my other's keeper on Sunday, or not Sunday, Tuesday, excuse me, to talk about one last hug. I'm just going to try not to cry through it. Um, but she's coming to see us in a couple weeks for one last hug. So that's been the hashtag that I've been used. Um, but I was just talking as kind of, planning for success and kind of going off a little bit went off on a tangent a little bit, but just, you know, com- which a lot of it is. And they were talking about, people that excuse me, people that have success here for YouTube channel, and I can tell you, you just have to keep going at it. You have to keep pushing the thing. I couldn't do it without my mom's help, so I can't do it all with my fibromyalgia or my husband. We all help a little bit. Give me a minute. But the point of it is that you know people get jealous and they measure success, and you know people are talking smack about on YouTube about your content creator you like. Don't sit there and watch it. Don't do it. So I was just going off of it because I thought that like I said, I just thought I'm gonna lift that up what she did last night because I thought that was you go Reese, you go and you go Tommy, and we've got both of your backs and all the other people on that are content creators that I am mods in for. I tell you 100%, I'll have your back and I care, and I am so grateful for the YouTube community that I have built and the friendships I have built that are going to help me through this. And oh well, thank you, Brazy. I'm about ready to go out of here. I don't think Alphonse is doing his thing tonight. I don't think I have it. I'm going to go and eat something. My tummy is rumbling. I'm going to eat something, and I'm going to crochet the rest of the day and work on that blanket. But just please, just a side note. Let's help lift each other up. Let's not tear each other down. Let's let's be here for each other. Let's be here to support each other. We can get through this, but we get through it together. Um, and let's do this. Let's try to find channels and content creators that are going to help us be successful and be successful in life and friendships and help each other. And I think the more we can connect and be there for each other and do that, we can be successful. And that's one part of being successful. Negativity does not bring positivity. Positivity brings positivity. And we can do this and we can do it together. And thank you all. I know that I'm going to be successful in this weight loss journey because I've got the connection. And I know I'm going to be successful because I have the lifeboat. I've got so many other wonderful channels, um, you know, that are just there for that I've built friendship and connection with. And I know as I know the week that my aunt's here, it's going to fly by. I know when she leaves here, I've got support in place to help me get through it. So I'm not doing this by myself. Let's not try to do life by yourself. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And I think to myself, Just go if anybody's wondering whether connection works, go look at Risa's first shows and go look at her now. Honest to goodness. If you want an example of what connection does, she was in some place that being a Scientologist that forced everybody that wasn't a Scientologist to move away and break away, right? You may not agree with everything she says. That's fine. You're not going to agree with everything I say. That's fine. Or Tommy says. That's fine. Or Kristen says. We don't have to all agree with each other. We can agree to disagree. We don't all have to. We all can be friends. Go watch her shows from the very beginning to now. Go watch how she's blossomed. Because before she was in a cult that if you were not a Scientologist, you were considered an SP, right? She got out of that and she started to have what? Connection. True friendships and true connection. Look where she is now. If you want to see the transformation in connection with anybody and what connection does, it's all spread out there. 110%. Okay. Um, I'll tell you in a minute. Through StreamYard, you should be able to go, Alfonso, to when you sign into your desktop, for and you see the panel, you should see three little dots off on the side of that broadcast that you set up, and you should be able to click it and say delete broadcast. And if you need me to help you walk it through it, I will. But you should be able to see it. Um. Anyway, go watch her. Go watch me. Go watch my first show with a terrible background. Oh, it was awful, the backdrop I had. Go watch that first show and go watch me now. Look how far I have grown. Go just watch the very first shorts, right? The very first shorts I did. Go watch the shorts I'm making now and that we're making now. See what connection has done, right? Go watch it. If you want to know if connection changes lives, go look right at it. It's sprawled out right there. Look what connection's done for Tommy. He was going through something. He walked away from the boat. He's come back. And he's just doing one show a day, which I think is wonderful because I think it's great. But all everybody is around him said, "You need the lifeboat a little bit. You need that connection." I know for myself, if I miss the boat and I'm not in the chat, I'm like, I got to have my connection. If I'm not here, I'm missing that connection. Go watch it. It's right there. You don't think connection works. It does. God did not ask us, and He didn't say, "I want you all to just be quiet and not be yourself and stay isolated." No, He wanted us to connect with our brothers and sisters. He made us to be people that are connecting, and connection is, and connecting with others and fellowshipping with others, coming together, praying for each other, lifting each other up. There's going to be evil in this world. We're never going to be able to stop away from that. But boy, we can be beacons of light. We can be disco balls. Anybody hasn't seen the saying here, I'm going to throw it up. Let's be a disco ball. Let's be a disco ball, right? Where's disco ball? One more time here, right? Now I'll go. Disco balls, hundreds of pieces of broken glass put together, right? Put together to make a magical ball of light. You ain't broken. You're a disco ball. And this disco ball I made was made with 3 different pieces, but it still shines bright, right? It was made with 3 different strips, and I put it together. It's not broken. It's a disco ball. If this isn't a representative of one versus the one I was trying to make that was all together, there's 3 different pieces here. It was put together to make a magical ball of light. This is disco ball, and you are a disco ball. Let's be that magical ball of light that shines positivity and love and connection out there, not negative. We can do this, peeps. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. So thank you. I did not expect this to be this long, but that's okay. I needed it. I feel better. I do. Um, Once we got the plane settled and when she was coming, that helped. But thank you all. Just a real quick note. Thank you for the past couple of days. I've needed you all in the lifeboat, on Reese's channel, on Christian's channel, on Miss Dragon's channel, Pup Groomer's channel. I've needed you all, I think, more than you realize. And I've made myself come in. And when I don't think I need it, when I don't think anybody's going to notice me, I'm going to play that clip of Tommy lovingly fussing at me because he cares and all of you care. And we can do this absolutely 100% brazy. So stay connected, you all. You all want to watch any of the playlists, it would be appreciative. Like and subscribe if you like what we do here. I'm smiling today, and you all made that happen. I tell you, the past couple of days have been so hard. You've helped to make me smile a little bit. And I know that I can come on here and cry if I need to. If this month and the couple of months may be a little hard, I know I'm going to be on here and it's going to be okay. I've got the connection. So go check out our fourth wall store and our merch. We've got some really cool merch. We're going to be adding more. The connection cakes are there for anybody they're looking for a birthday or a celebration. The blessed connection cakes are over there. Um, I'll be making more, but I got to finish that blanket. The disco balls are going up. The towel holders are going up. There's shirts. There's the mugs. So go check out the merch store if you so wish to. Okay. Just real quick, Alfonso, the week of the 15th. What day is that? I've got a thing here. Let me see. Well, I've got you here. And our soap caddies are in there too. If anybody wants soap caddies, because these make great gifts. Holidays are coming up. They make great gifts, y'all. Um, the 17th of August, I will not be coming. I will not be able to help you with the live that night. So August 17th, Patty will be here on the 15th. And I will not, I'm taking every moment with her I can. And I'm sure you understand. So August 17th um, will not be something that I will be able to do. But let's do this. Let's do this. Right? We can do it. And you all are going to help keep me accountable and check out the Fourth Wall store and check out the Fourth Wall store um, and like and subscribe and watch the playlist for us. And above all, stay connected. It truly is life changing. If you want to see it, go watch from the beginning of here. If you want to see it, go watch Reese's channel. Watch from the beginning to where she is now. Go watch Kristen's channel. Kristen Melinda, if you want to see how much connection has really changed, I can see a difference in her from her very first live till now. She's got more comfortable. She's grown. She's just she's just blossomed. It just happens when we put connection around us, solid, good connection. It's awesome. So, but go check out our merch store because Alfonso did some great things, and I will get you that disco ball logo. I'm saying a lot of mission. I don't want to leave. I think that's the. I'm not from Minnesota, but I've been saying a lot of Minnesota goodbyes today because I'm laughing and it feels good. After the past week we've had. Also, another real quick thing is I am making those little tags for the stitch markers with the names, like the hook size for people, so they don't. And I thought of putting crafty reminder or something. So if anybody has any good names for those little stitch markers that we can name them that I'm going to use to put up in the merch store for anybody that wants to put them on their project so they won't forget what hook size they're using. If anybody has any cute names that they want to throw in, put it in the comments below. I thought of some, but I can't think of them. So I'll think of something, but these will be our disco balls. But these will be our disco ball warrior keychains. That's what these are going to be. But I will get you over a suggestion for a disco ball logo. I just have had my head going. So thank you for all hanging out. And I love you all. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart tremendously for being here. I don't feel alone right now. And that's really, really important. Um, I don't feel alone. And I've been through hard times in my life where I felt very much alone, even with family around. And I don't feel alone this time around. And I thank you all so much for that. You have a great day. Stay connected, you all. And we're going to let Scott take us out because two things. You got me covered, and we got you covered. Stay connected. It truly is life changing. And guess what? Be proud of being yourself. I know I'm proud of being me. I'm going to let Scott take us out on that note. Have a good day, y'all. Stay connected. Bye bye. We got you covered.
So proud of being